Good morning, gearheads. Bad news. No football for at least 189 days. Good news. Blind Mike has got your back. Catch comedic passes every Sunday right here on the Blind Mike Project. On today's show, Louis J. Gomez versus the Trolls. Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee. Jim Jeffries is sued by the Village People over a gay sex joke. Throw in some Alec Baldwin and some Tom Segura, and that is quite the show. Make sure you go to blindmike.net for all things Blind Mike. And now, here is your host, a man who doesn't need vision to see your lame punchlines coming,
Blind Mike Geary!
I'm in stunned disbelief. 2 minutes ago, I had not a problem in the world. And in the last 30 seconds, these two idiots have given me something to be angry about.
What did they do?
No, you and Casey.
What did he
or
do?
Electra, whoever wrote. Well, Craig got me first. I'm in stunned disbelief.
It'll make sense in a second.
Craig said something. We'll get to it. I couldn't believe it.
Well,
Craig asked me a question before the show that I'm so puzzled by, but we'll get there.
looking back, it makes sense, but
We'll give that context in a minute. And then, moments later, I hear the phrase, catch comedic passes every Sunday with Blind Mike.
it's true.
What fucking show is this?
I'm more
doing
embarrassed
top
than
40 radio. Catch comedic passes with the quick-witted.
I gotta be honest, they're very lucky I had a momentary brain lapse before the show.
I can't fathom what Craig asked me before the show. But we'll get there. We have a lot to talk about. So enough shenanigans here. It's a snow day. We're all snowed in together. Isn't that fun?
That's right.
And the agenda may seem a little short today. It might seem like we have fewer topics than usual, but I'll tell you what. If you're all good, if you all do your dittos, at the end we've got a little treat for you. I'll pass out crossword puzzles and you can talk amongst yourselves. I have some fun planned at the end of the show. It's something we haven't done in a while. So hopefully you guys stick around and enjoy that. First, I have some business to discuss here. We have something to mull over.
Mhm.
You, me, the people in the chat, all of us, put our heads together here. What do we think?
I'm in.
Good buddy of mine reached out to me. A man by the name of Tom Myers.
Oh God.
We're pals now. We're thick as thieves, me and Tom.
Yep.
Reaches out to me and says, someone wants to do your show. Who do you think that is, if Tom Myers is reaching out to me?
That fan. I hope. God, please.
No, sadly.
Ah,
G.D. Fenderson.
really?
Yes.
You're about a year and a half too late, but like,
Yeah, we haven't talked about it in a while. And I said, why, Tom? Why? To what end? Explain. And Tom said, I convinced him. Winky face. I think it might have been a wink with a tongue out, like, man, look what I did. So I appreciate Tom singing my praises. That's very nice of him. I'm glad Tom and I are friends. But my question to you people is, do we want G.D. Fenderson on?
tell him we'll have GD Fenderson on if he gets Dat fan on first.
Maybe GD and Tom together could be fun.
Yes.
I don't have a heck of a lot to ask GD.
Would he have like puns prepared for us? Like when he reads those things?
I hope so. The only question I would want to ask him is what that 6 down joke meant.
I don't even remember it. It was Trump related, wasn't it?
Yes. It was Trump's Native American name, 6 down.
Oh, right. That was like 25 minutes straight of what does this possibly?
Yes. Yeah, we spent a lot of time on it.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to get an answer to that. But other than that, I don't have a lot to ask. Tom, I had a lot to discuss. I had a lot to ask him about. G-Dad, I don't know how much I have to talk to him about. So maybe him and Tom, we could have a grand old time.
That would be fun.
Yes.
We should everyone on to play the Ojeda drinking game with them.
I asked, I mentioned this to Justin Trudeau, who's a big Tom Myers fan.
Yeah.
And he said, do you think it's possible that you're there, Tom Myers? Like they're getting together like, Hey, let's do this asshole show. They're laughing at me.
We end up in a grave at the end of this.
I said, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But yeah, I'll be curious to hear what people think. Dude, would anyone like GD Fenderson to be on the show?
One in the chat.
Now that I say it out loud, I think I know the answer. But
I mean, probably. Why not?
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll mull it over, if you will. And did I have any other business I wanted to? I don't know. That Craig's question threw me off so much that I don't know what's real anymore. But
it's more of a statement than a question.
The main thing I do want to tell you about is going to blindmike.net. That's something you should all do right now, even as you're watching this show, because that's where all our links are. And you can support the program. If you watch live on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. That supposedly helps more people find the show. So do that on every video you watch here. Like it, comment, say, Mike, you're doing great, buddy. Good job. Or whatever, comes to your mind. That's just a starting point. You can expand on it however you wish. Leave a 5-star review and consider becoming a member, either on Patreon or YouTube. You get early access and bonus content. And sometimes Craig posts things on there.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I've just resorted to this now when people say, is the audio going to be on Patreon? I say, Craig has decided you don't deserve it.
Well, if I'm on the show, it'll be up immediately because I already have it.
I like that mentality. Craig's like, you only want to listen if I'm on.
That's not what I meant.
If I'm not on, who's even listening?
And I think HACKRIDE or Casey's computer exploded after the last show. It was like,
oh no, really? He didn't tell me that.
It was like there was a big time tech issue.
Oh, you know what? He might have mentioned something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope he's all right. Thoughts and prayers to Casey Day. All right, shall we get started here?
Where do you want to begin?
I don't know. Oh, you send me this. I don't know the context. This Anthony Cumia tweet.
Yeah, I don't either.
Oh, I know. Well, we won't spend too much time on this. I do real quick because maybe people in the chat will be able to tell me what the fuck's going on here. I was on Who Are These Socials the other day. That's every Thursday at 6 for those of you wondering. And Carl mentioned something about Kevin Brennan trying to fight Carl's brother.
Saw that.
I guess they did this Atlantic City event, and Carl's brother went up and said, "Hello, Kevin." And Kevin attacked him physically and had to be restrained. So I don't know what this tough guy act from Kevin is now. Does Kevin think he's like strong and he's going to beat people up?
He's a real strapping 28-year-old weightlifter.
He's like 60, isn't he?
Yes.
Nothing looked more tough than Kevin getting yelled at by Jimmy Martinez. That was that's when you're like, oh, I wouldn't fuck with this Kevin Brennan guy.
Yeah.
But again, I would also back down to Jimmy Martinez because we're podcasters. You guys can all probably beat me up. Congratulations. That's why I'm not in the fighting game. But I guess Anthony tweeted. We'll read Anthony's tweet. He said he got this at 5 a.m.
Oh, hold on. Let me pull that back up. I just got the voicemail here. Yeah, he was. This was from, I think, Atlantic City as well.
When you send me an Anthony Cumia tweet, I'm like, oh, I have to delete my history. What is this? This was a good one.
He said, this is a voicemail I got from Kevin at 5 a.m. When am I ever a, quote, tough guy? That seems to be the main objective of all the miserable bastards that hang around this guy. I've never professed to be a tough guy. That's true.
To Anthony's detriment, he's a non-confrontational guy.
Yes.
Like Anthony is so avoiding confrontation at all costs. So that is true. Like, I don't understand this idea where is Anthony supposed to duel with Kevin? Put up your dukes. Yeah, so this is the voicemail Anthony got.
Have you ever had a fight with a man?
Have you?
I know you like to fight ladies. I know you fought that Danny Brand. I know you fought that black lady in Times Square. But have you ever fought with a man? I know you talk. You're a tough guy and a pretend tough guy. You fight ladies and you're tough on Twitter. Have you ever had a fight in real life as a grown-up adult with a man? Let me know. Get back to me.
Does Kevin have like a drinking problem? He's drinking and doing this?
I don't know, but that's a hilarious way to sign that voicemail off though. I don't know. Get back to me.
Yeah. Give it some thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck is going on with that because he doesn't sound fucked up. He sounds
Sober.
present of mind. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, you're a real tough guy." I've never known that to be Anthony. I don't know him personally. Maybe Kevin knows something I don't know. But I found that very strange when he sent that over to me. So if you people have context, let me know because that was very bizarre. All right, let's get into some other stuff.
Why do people keep going after a guy who so openly carries? Like,
yeah, right. He's not tough, but he could murder you, I suppose.
He would murder you quickly.
I don't think it makes it tough, but you don't really have a lot of time to have that debate, you know?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some other stuff here. Let's start with Santino and Bobby Lee. Shall we?
Absolutely.
I just thought this was funny. So I saw on I don't know this world too well. I saw Joke World mention that Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee were on Complex's show. You seem to know who that was when I mentioned it.
It's an extremely huge sneaker show.
Yeah, and sneaker culture, I don't personally get it, but it's massive. It's like a big you could say similar to watch culture, I suppose. People take it very seriously. People spend a lot of money on it. So Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee were on this guy Complex's show. Gets a ton of views. And something particularly stood out to me. And we'll play a clip and we'll talk about just why you might watch the clip and say, Mike, why are you playing this? It doesn't fit your usual brand of topics. And I'll explain it to you. Just wait.
They're bad for me for sure. I do feel a little guilty being in here with all of this.
Why?
Because Bobby's family made most of this stuff, and I feel like that's
by hand,
rubbing it in, you know?
By hand, and also
you can hear the whispers of his nieces and stuff.
Well,
just
no,
so bad.
we paid them a lot, 18 cents an hour.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But benefits as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, we give them
Yeah, that shoe means a lot.
rice balls. You like rice balls?
No, he's Italian. Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah. Rice balls are sweet.
Italian, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you were like 8 years old in that photo. What do you think you were wearing when you were 8 years old?
Barefoot.
Barefoot, really?
On an island, yeah. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when you're coming down the hill with all that rice, you can't have shoes on. You slip.
Yeah.
You got to have some traction.
And, when you're jumping off of rooftops, you know what I mean? It's better with no shoes.
Really?
And trees, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when you're battling, other, ninjas and stuff, you know what I mean? Exactly, dude.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, so that's Andrew and Bobby being very funny. I thought Andrew had some funny lines in there. Not particular. It doesn't leap out at me as anything crazy, but I noticed. I said Andrew and Bobby are in front of an audience that isn't really theirs. Yeah. It's a big audience. These people spend a lot of money on sneakers. They take it very seriously.
Like I said, Eminem does this show.
Right. There's a whole culture around it, and sneakers don't necessarily bring comedy. If you're talking sneakers, you don't say, "Oh, that's ripe for humor." Right. Yet Andrew and Bobby were able to bring something to the table. And the reason that stood out to me is because I thought, that's odd. That's an odd approach for comics to have. Because I've seen comics do shows like this, where a guy who specializes in a certain piece of apparel brings a comedian on. And I thought comics were supposed to take it very seriously.
Yeah.
Like this. My only real introduction into this world was Tom Segura. So let's see how it's supposed to be handled. Unlike, Andrew and Bobby are goofing around, getting in the way. This is how comedians should approach shows like this.
High pieces, but even what you have on your wrist today, you're showing me.
Yeah, this was one of the ones that, because I was going to show you some stuff that I like watches, I like all watches, but watches
how'd you get into this in
with
general?
Stories, watches. How I got into it, I think even as a kid, I wore watches, regularly. I had a Seiko, but I just was into it, and I guess saw timepieces. You go, oh, love to get that one day, and then some of them have been able to, but this one in particular is meaningful to me. This is my dad passed away a couple of years ago, but
oh, good, that'll be fun.
At one point, he was in the hospital. And he had a bone marrow transplant. It was this huge deal. And then he got better and got out. And he lived a few more years. But at that time, I gave him this watch. It's a Jaeger Le Culte.
I say Jaeger.
So he stole it from his corpse.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Why does he have it back? So that's how you're supposed to. When you're on one of these shows, you take it very seriously. You tell a sad story about your father dying.
Yeah.
You talk about how much you love timepieces in a very snobby manner. You attempt a French accent. That's what you do. Quit joking around, Bobby and Andrew.
Yeah. I remember when Bobby was like, this is very good foot cushion.
No, Bobby, you're not supposed. Take it seriously. Talk about different leathers that you like. So if you don't remember, we played this watch video of Tom Segura's a few months ago, and it really leapt out at me as the example of why Tom Segura has lost his way and lost touch with his audience. Like, Tom seems to think, he talks about, I've heard him talk about this many times on his podcast, where he's like, oh yeah, people think I'm out of touch just because I make a lot of money now. And it's like, no, that's not it. Andrew and Bobby make a lot of money. And they went on a show where they're spending a lot of money, and yet they made jokes about it. And you see Tom in the same type of environment, and he's like, oh, well, it's actually really interesting. I've always really appreciated timepieces. Seiko watches particularly are what I had my eye on for a long time.
My dad died, and I very carefully took this off his wrist.
If you weren't laughing already, my father passed away recently. All right, so let's get another example of how not to approach comedy from Andrew and Bobby.
One pair of Jordans. Why can't we get you one pair of Jordans today?
I will never wear them.
No?
Yeah.
What was it like growing up in Chicago during peak Jordan era, though?
Well, it's 50-50.
It's totally about him.
It was 50. He's trying to do a fucking show.
No, your section's coming up.
I have a section?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were only doing it to him.
No.
See, like, they're shitting on the host. They're making the guy uncomfortable. They're doing bits. Frankly, it gets in the way of all this good sneaker talk. Tom, show them what they should have done.
Right? Come on, Tom.
So what are we looking for? What are you trying to find with this new piece?
So I'll say that like most of the time I don't gravitate towards leather bands. As of recent,
That's
really
my
have
dad's wearing
started
it.
to enjoy fabric bands, like different fabrics.
Okay.
I would say most watches I have are metal bracelets, So, and I do enjoy that. I like weight and heft to that, but I mean, I'm open to an experience. This is the fun thing for me about being with somebody like you is that you know so much more than me that it's fun to get the education. So I like that part of it.
It is fun. It's fun. It's fun to be educational on a watch program. It's not just fun, Tom. It's important.
Ma'am, you didn't pass out the homework.
So it bugs me that Bobby and Andrew are going on this massive platform with Complex, and they're joking around. They're goofing off. They should be asking about different laces, different tongues on the shoe. How does that adjust your comfort?
Shoes, Joel.
That's off.
Yes.
Yeah. How did Joel?
No, I just know that he gifted you those.
He did. He didn't give me these ones.
Okay, but did he?
He gave me a style that I didn't like.
Oh, I thought it was Golden Goose.
It wasn't. Yeah, but like what is this?
That's a Yeezy as well.
Okay. What is this? Asics.
Yep.
Right. This is Asics, right?
Yes.
Notice that this Asics is different than this Asics, right? So if you like this Asics, this color format, right? You might not want this one.
Okay.
So he gave me the wrong color.
What did he give you?
Like camo, like you know what I mean, some camo ones. It's still in the closet, but yeah.
Okay.
How do you know that?
I just know.
He's like Nardwar.
Okay, I know, but can I ask him about his eyebrows?
Please.
Okay,
Wait, what's wrong with them?
Because I know that.
No, we've been talking about it.
Yeah, we were talking about it all day,
Driving me
and
fucking
that drives me crazy too.
Okay,
You know
tell
you
me.
shave here, right? Let's be honest.
No.
Yeah, you do, dude.
Shave
You're one
the
of those.
middle?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, well, let's move on.
Okay, let's move on. But is it true that
Look, he shaved this morning. And
I know
look at
he
all the
did.
stubble
I know.
already.
Dude, you're a hairy fuck, dude.
Hairy,
no?
dude.
Is it?
You can't deceive us. You're a hairy fuck.
I shaved 2 days ago.
Let me see your chest.
Yeah, let me see your chest. Yeah, honestly, chest it out.
They
Yeah, you shave it.
No,
Yeah.
Manscaped.
Yeah. Look, this is pure. Look at this. Pure no hair, dude. It's called evolution, dude. Touch my skin, dude. Touch my skin.
There it is.
Yeah, now you have monkeypox.
Yeah.
That's okay. You're gonna die.
So is it true that people?
They're being disrespectful. They're ragging on the host. They're getting in the way with all their silly bits. And frankly, that was like a full minute. I didn't hear any talk about fucking shoes. Like, get back to the matter at hand. This is supposed to be educational. And guys, you have a massive audience watching you that isn't familiar with your stuff.
Right.
They're going to think you're goofballs. They're going to think you're guys that horse around and make jokes all the time. Isn't that uncomfortable for you? Here's what you should be doing when you're on a new platform that doesn't necessarily know you.
Look at that, yes.
You mentioned also maybe something with like more color.
Here's the thing. I mean, look, the thing about watches is you have to remind yourself to have fun. With it. People get so serious and they worry about like, you know, what the watch says, or is this the right one to as an investment, or it's like you just have to have a good time with this stuff, man.
Totally
agree.
Like,
I don't care what is the trending watch or what. I just like having fun and like, oh, this is a fun piece to wear today. That's it.
It's all about expression. And
Yeah,
this is
it's
about
an expression.
art expression.
That's how you do it, guys. You don't have fun. You talk about fun as a concept and apply that to something that already just bursts out as fun, like watches.
I know this watch is 30 grand, but why would you think about it as an investment?
There was no reason to play that Andrew and Bobby stuff. I just saw it as an excuse because that Tom Segura video is one of my favorite douchey things of all time. Where he's like, honestly, just have a little fun with it. Have some fun with the different bands. Imagine all the fabrics you could test.
Yeah, I like the heft. Okay.
This has good heft to it. It just leapt out at me as like when I watched Bobby and Andrew on that show. And if you don't like Bobby and Andrew, it's not going to make you like them. Like they're just kind of doing what they do. But I really just appreciated the fact that they were comedians on it. You know, they got in Complex's way. They fucked with him a little bit. Like they had a good time. They didn't go, oh, that's really interesting. So you're saying the Jordan 1s, those go for a lot of money now. Those are kind of a collector's item. Is that what you're telling me, Complex?
Yes.
Take it. So that is where this is a lesson in comedy, Tom. You take it from me. I'm a comedic genius. Tom really needs my advice. But there is something to be learned here where you can go on a show and say, like, oh, maybe I'll fuck around a little instead of having. That is why people think Tom Segura lost touch, is because you can go on a watch show and you can have a little fun. You don't have to talk about your dead dad or different fabrics, you know?
Oh boy. All right, we got a few super chats here.
Well, let's hear them, goddammit.
Nobody likes onions, $20.
Whoa, thank you, Patrick.
Just do something about Steel Toe, please. Love the show. A quick Beggy Monster shout out.
Oh, no Steel Toe today, unfortunately. Steel Toe is not on YouTube for some reason. I don't like pulling clips from Rumble. If I'm on Rumble, I'm sending Aaron links to play. I'm sending Rumble rants for him to talk about. I'm not pulling clips. But yeah, for some reason, I think Aaron was like suspended from YouTube. I don't know what happened.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, enough people probably like complain. Don't do that, people. Don't do that.
And I'm not a circus bear. I'm not going to do the Beggy Monster for you, Patrick.
What if you want me to read this next super chat?
All right, fine.
Getty Van Halen, $5. Brennan going full shtick lately.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, does anyone believe that? Does anyone believe like, oh, Kevin's gonna whip his ass?
No, because like I said, one carries very openly won't last very long.
But also, like, that shouldn't come into play either. They're gonna have a gunfight. You know what I mean? Like, why would any of it come to that?
If
It's so
Kevin
silly.
attacked someone who's carrying, Cumia or not, they have a right to defend themselves.
Yes, I get it, Craig. I'm not getting in a gun argument with you. What
I'm
I'm
just
saying is, why would two podcasters come to a duel?
I'm going to say
my point.
one would. Cumia would be like, oh, he's in North Dakota. I'm going to be in Florida this weekend. I got to be as far away as possible. Dawn Fried Chicken, $5. My daughter got Valentine's Day cards from a Craig Coney, which must be a kid in her 6th grade class. What a cute coincidence, right, Craig?
You sent any Valentine's Day cards this year, Craig?
My son did.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
and he's not a junior, so
Broke into your stash.
nice try, Dawn Fried Chicken. And that was it right there.
Dad, why are you writing to all the girls in my class? Those are my letters. Get out of there.
Those are my memoirs.
All right. All right. Let's just get this out of the way because it's been on my mind the whole time. It's been very distracting. Let's talk about this Jim Jeffries lawsuit.
Okay.
Me and Craig hop on now. Jim Jeffries is getting sued by the Village People. That's what's happening here. Craig looks at the video. The title of the video, by the way, is "I'm being sued by the Village People."
Yeah.
There's not a lot of mystery as to what Jim Jeffries is talking about in this episode. And Craig goes, "So is the theme of this podcast they just dress as like gay Navy guys?" And I said, "No, Craig. It's actually a reference to the Village People."
I gotta be honest. They don't look like the Village People.
I understand. You could have put it all together.
I
know they're talking about the Village People. Why is he wearing a Native American headdress? I don't get it.
See, that would have made me not say that. I would have been like, I get it.
Why are they a cop and a construction worker? I don't understand.
They were the least popular Village person. The gay Navy guy.
They talk about it on the show. He said he had to go to I don't know this guy. Amos, I think his name is. Jim Jeffries' podcast partner.
Yeah, I have no
he seemed
clue.
very funny. This is the only episode I've ever listened to, which they've only done 5. I guess it's a new podcast.
Getting sued already by an act like that after only 5 episodes, pretty good.
It's a good start, yeah. But this guy goes, I had to go into sex shops and say, "Do you have any Navy outfits? It's not for me. I'm getting sued by the Village People." They're like, "Okay, sir, just take whatever you need." But yes, this I found very interesting. So let's hear Jim Jeffries discuss the letter that he received after talking about the Village People. And if you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, the Village People have been Donald Trump's, I don't know, opening act, I guess. The theme song of the Trump campaign was YMCA.
Yeah.
So the Village People have adopted Donald Trump or vice versa. And Jim Jeffries and his podcast partner made a couple jokes about that, and they discussed what happened here.
Let's talk about this. 2 podcasts ago, we're only 4 podcasts in, I believe. We're 4 podcasts in. But on our second podcast, I believe, we made some comments about the Village People song, the YMCA. And here are the comments here.
Let's be honest. What is the YMCA song about? It's about
dudes getting fucked in a hostel.
It's fucking in showers in a hostel. Right? When you're a young man who's been kicked out of your home, there's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your day. And everyone, all these right-wing people are dancing around to basically a song about bumming in the shower.
Yeah, there's a lot of conservative people who go, all this gay propaganda's everywhere. And then they go and clap the Village People and Trump dancing with them. Yeah, obviously, Donald Trump has made it his thing. And I'm going to tell you, I've loved it, the song. It's reminded me how much fun the YMCA and the Village People is. It's a great disco.
We love this song. When that song turns on, everyone gets on the dance floor. It doesn't matter what you are. Doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, Republican, Democrat. Great song. But sadly, I received...
My girlfriend is as much of a Democrat supporter as you're going to have. And when she sees Trump doing the dance, even she's like, God, it's fun. Isn't it a great time? Isn't this wonderful? And unfortunately, it seems that we've upset some people within the group.
Well, if you want to criticize Jim Jeffries for anything there, it's that he's walking on tread upon ground. That's been noticed once or twice. That the Village People is slightly gay. If anything, you could say Jim Jeffries is tackling a hack premise. Like, I just thought everyone knew that, right?
You would think. You see them all standing there.
Evidently, the living original member of the Village People, I forget his name, I believe they say it here. I guess he was the one non-gay member of the group. And it seems he's had it up to here with people calling him to the point where he's like, maybe if I am the theme song of Donald Trump's campaign, they'll stop calling me gay. And that didn't work. So the Village People have now resorted to a new low. If I got to say, they're going to be very busy if they're sending out cease and desist letters to everyone that calls them gay. But this is what Jim Jeffries received in the mail.
Jim Jeffries, CC of your management. Notice to cease and desist. Request for retraction.
Okay.
February 7th, 2025. Dear Mr. Jeffries, you recently used an obscene, derogatory, and false description of the iconic hit YMCA. You told your audience the song YMCA is about guys getting bonged.
I said bummed. I said bummed. When will this nation understand my accent? Carry on.
getting bonged, aka bummed at the Y. Well, Victor Willis, and that's when you realize that's the lead singer of the group who wrote the songs. The lawyer is Karen Willis, so I believe it's
Victor Willis's wife, and Victor is the cop in The Village People. He's I think he's the last one alive. The original lineup.
Who wrote 100% of the lyrics of the song, has made it clear that though some may have misinterpreted the lyrics to mean illicit sex at the Y, I don't know whether he thought it was illicit. It was just...
It's a good point.
That is not the actual meaning of his lyrics, nor is there anywhere in the lyrics that would even remotely suggest such. Anyone suggesting otherwise will have to prove in a court of law that Willis, who wrote the lyrics and ought to know, was writing about gays having illicit sex at the Y, though he has made it clear that that was not what the lyrics are suggesting. Therefore, you have perpetuated. Therefore, you have perpetuated a false and defamatory meaning of the song, therein bringing harm to the very famous song. And the public was warned. I didn't get this warning. In 25, anyone who perpetuates a false and derogatory meaning of YMCA would be sued. Accordingly, you have 10 days to retract on your show, this one we're on, your false and defamatory meaning of YMCA, and provide me proof of such retraction, including but not limited to a link to your retraction, or I shall immediately commence legal action against not only you, but your co-host, my name not included.
No. I like the idea that the public has been warned. Like, this is Victor Willis who was like, attention, America. Call me gay one more time and see what happens. I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. We are not playing around. We are the Village People, and we're straight and proud of it.
Yeah, the new members all have to be straight to be in.
I was actually, even Craig, I was actually proud of Craig for a moment, where when I told him about this story, even Craig was like, you can't sign on to the Trump campaign.
Yeah.
And then start threatening legal action over jokes.
You can't.
The fuck are you doing, Victor Willis?
You can't do it.
But it is, I guess you got to empathize with the guy from this standpoint. Just a lifetime. He's married. It might be this Karen Willis, the wife, who's a lawyer, evidently, where she's like, my husband is not gay. And he's just like, YMCA. And she's like, what's gay about that? He's like,
he wears cop bondage in a stadium full of people.
Yeah, he wears assless chaps with his cop uniform. I don't understand. Why is everyone calling him gay?
I don't get it.
He's hetero. He's a man's man. He's a cop, for God's sake. He's an enforcer of the law. So these guys actually had a lot of fun with it, but we have a little of their response here. And I gotta say, like, Jim Jefferies had a weird time where after the gun bit, like, which, by the way, his gun control bit is hilarious. I think it's like one of the great stand-up bits ever, in my opinion. The problem with that is it was slanted to help one side of a political argument. Mm-hmm. So they adopted him, and Jim Jefferies kind of embraced that and became something he wasn't as a comedian. Like, when I discovered Jim Jefferies, he was the booze hound, degenerate party guy.
Right.
Almost like an Australian Doug Stanhope to a degree.
Kind of, but funnier. In my opinion.
I found Jim Jefferies hilarious. Like, his first few specials are great. Some of my favorites. And the Jim Jefferies show, I didn't think was a good representation of who he was.
That was such a bad idea.
Yeah, it just didn't work. By the way, Jim Jefferies had a funny line. He's dressed as Freddie Mercury, Craig. I don't know if you can figure out why that is or not.
Because he's gay. I know that.
Okay, all right. Well, what is that? The theme of the pod? They just dress as gay guys? I don't get it.
I knew it from the jacket.
Well, Jim Jefferies goes, he goes, on my show, the Jim Jefferies show, I dressed for Halloween one year as Freddie Mercury because the Queen movie was out. And he goes, and boy, am I glad I bought instead of rented. Yeah, I thought to myself, you never know when you're going to need it again. But yeah, like, Jim Jefferies had a weird run where he was cast as something he wasn't, but he is a very funny guy. And so, like, to sue him over such an innocuous joke.
Didn't he get fired? Didn't he get fired for getting caught on a hot mic being a phony?
No, I don't think they're related. I know what you're talking about. That guy, Avi something. I'm forgetting his name now.
Yeah.
But he exposed that show because he recorded the whole thing and was like, oh, they completely took me out of context and tried to make me look like something I wasn't. And yeah, it was very, I think it just got canceled because of low ratings. I think it was unrelated to that, but I could be wrong about that. But anyways, Jim Jeffries, very funny guy. It is, Craig, tell your people, for God's sake. Tell Jerry and all your peeps over there. Lighten up. You won. What are you doing? You're fucking this up now.
I may talk to Jerry again. Who knows?
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Do you know anything? We'll talk during the super chats. Don't let it interrupt the segment.
Next, we got apology.
Okay, yeah. So this is important. Jim Jeffries, you better take this seriously, buddy, because I don't think Karen Willis is screwing around.
Kind.
Right.
I want you to talk to Victor Willis, and I want you to talk to the fans of disco who are quite frankly repulsed that you've said that song's about. And I'd like you to apologize so we don't get in any more trouble.
I would like to apologize to Victor and Karen Willis. That I must be one of the first people in the world who have thought this, but I thought that it was gay. It was wrong of me. It was defamatory. It was obscene, and it was a false description of the iconic hit. People they're not getting bonged at the Y. I just feel bad, Amos. I just feel bad for the people I hurt.
Well, that's okay. And I'm glad we've said our piece. So there you go, guys. If we can be here to help our audience grow, I know I've got a lot of sort of knuckle-dragging idiots who are my fans. It's not gay, guys. It's not gay.
Okay.
And if you go to Pride this year, if there's a float and it's playing it, I want you to run up there and kick the fucking boombox off and say, turn that shit off.
Hey, get it off. Get it off.
That's not
Get it off.
You're appropriating that. Regular straight men. That's our song.
I don't know who this Amos guy is, but he was actually funnier on this than Jim was. He was very good.
Jim seems pissed that he had to do it.
Well, he's playing into the bit because they went on throughout the podcast to research some of the benefits that the Village People have done, some of the other songs like Macho Man, for example. So they had a good time with this. I appreciated their response because it is very funny, and you have to know if you send someone a cease and desist letter, what you're to a podcast, I should say. Maybe regular citizens have a different reaction. But if you send that to a podcast, what you're saying is, here's an episode you can do. Just don't bother bringing any other content. I've made an episode for you. I'm going to threaten to sue you, which will never go anywhere. And you guys can talk about it for an hour if you want.
Yep. We have one last clip from them.
All right, let's hear it.
Appropriation.
Yeah, this is Jim talking more about the nasty thing that he's done.
No, it's wrong. It's wrong. And you know who I'm angry at now? The gays for appropriating it.
I said it before.
They appropriated this. This is good heterosexual music. I go down to the Y and I'm playing basketball with my mates. We don't think about having sex in the shower at any stage. At any stage.
There's something about his accent that makes things funnier as well. He's able to deliver this very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually a very good episode. If you're not familiar with the pod, at least check that one out because they do a very good job of responding to such a ridiculous lawsuit. But yeah, you can't sign up to be Team Trump and then go, hey, stop it. Stop calling me gay.
Cut it out. Someone in the chat pointed out Duke Keith Chang said in the Navy. That's another song, not gay, right?
That was another. As a matter of fact, Craig, that is a Village People song. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No, I know.
Yeah, okay. What is this guy just dressing as a Navyman every week?
It was the Live in Madison Square Garden jacket from Jim Jeffries that threw the whole thing off.
They did. They were like, oh, and the Navy, it's the straightest branch of the military.
Sure. We got some super chats here.
But yeah, while we're doing that, is Jerry? So he's actually in a contract dispute.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you know as much as I do.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we did a show Monday, and then Tuesday it was we're not doing it, and that has been it.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
interesting.
That was fun.
Very powerful negotiations. I wonder what this is about.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Thanks for the heads up. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Nobody likes onions. $2. Chargeback incoming because we're not talking about steel toe.
Venmo request made.
Tickle Me Tukey, $5. Village People did a movie called Can't Stop the Music where they all danced in the showers filled with bubbles at the Y.
Well, it's hetero. They were getting all sudsy thinking about ladies.
They sweat so much during the basketball open gym that they were just helping each other out.
Oh, imagine doing this with chicks here, guys. Wouldn't that be fun?
We should practice without.
Yeah, let's practice what we would do on girls. That's what the Village People were all about. And isn't it good for Trump if they're gay?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you kind of want them to be gay, right?
Yes. Yes. Don Fried Chicken, $5. Looking at these Valentine's cards for my daughter, and the address is the same as yours, Craig. You're not fooling me this time. Not again.
Huh.
Interesting.
We'll follow that trail, Don Fried Chicken, because there could be a mystery afoot.
Hey, we're listening here. €5.
I like that.
I do too. And his picture is just a bowl of spaghetti.
I don't know. It's very simple, but it made me laugh.
It's good. It's good. The Village People would never lead me into homosexuality. I bet I would go gay for OJ.
Well, sure. Who wouldn't?
Getty Van Halen, $5. Is it true that Stuttering John is going on Matan Evans' podcast?
That would be awesome.
he would swing at Matan.
Why are you doing that accent? I don't get it.
That would be.
You're not 17. Let me see your ID. You're not 17.
Jimmy's neglected mother, $5. In the Navy is gayer than anything Boy George has ever sung.
Hey, stop it. Don't delete that from the podcast. I don't want a piece of whatever they're serving up legally.
We should definitely try to get sued by the Village People.
Hey, you guys are gay.
Hey, Village People, the YMCA is the gayest song I've ever heard.
Hey, go back to the bathhouses, you queers.
In the Navy is just a homo rallying call.
Yeah, send that to the Village People.
See what happens.
That's the other thing. They should be, if they're going to sue someone, it should be us, like someone that would be afraid. It shouldn't be Jim Jeffries, who's just going to say it on his podcast.
Yeah, the YMCA is definitely about guys bumming other guys in the shower, though.
I don't think so, Craig.
I think it is.
I mean, yes, it is. It's about illicit gay sex. Illicit, like it's 1963.
He's still stuck back then.
They've got the disease of homosexuality.
What did he think? Like, was back then, like, if you dressed up like they did, did people like that look straight as hell? was it a time difference?
Oh man, well, Craig, they were a construction worker. They were what's more hetero than that?
Yeah.
In Cowboys versus Indians, I always thought the Indians were the straight guys running from the gay cowboys trying to fuck them. That's how I remember it.
Gay cowboys and Indians. I think that's accurate. Yeah, the guy dressed up like the Native American would just flinch every time he saw a cowboy on stage.
Oh, get away from me, queer.
It's just cowboys, Indians, and leather daddies, and they're like, "Why are we gay?" No one.
Victor Willis is dressing up as the most famous outfit a male stripper could have. And he's like, why do people think I'm gay? I don't get it.
Yeah, this guy has his wife fighting his battles for him. Nothing gay about it.
I'm all man. Go get him, honey.
I like it.
Moving on. Let's talk about our pal Luis J. Gomez, shall we?
I think so. I think we should.
All right. I'm a big Luis J. Gomez fan, as you guys know, and he was talking about something that is something I've given a lot of thought lately as well, because you've heard me mention it before when we talk about like Brennan Schaub and things like that. I think there's such a fine line. I think there's an epidemic happening online that's never really been addressed or solved. And there's probably some people in the chat, although I think we get very little of it percentage-wise. But there are some people that suffer from this. And I think there's such a fine line between making fun of shows you don't like and getting like violently angry about them and arguing about them. I think that's such a different world. You know what I mean? Like to even like you can say like Red Bar is very negative, but he's being creative and funny. Whereas like there are people online where it's like, what are you doing? even when it's something that is like annoying, like Stuttering John. Like if you're looking at what Stuttering John does, Stuttering John just did a backyard comedy show. Carl had the audio, and he throws a line to this audience that does not know him or the Dabbleverse. And Stuttering John goes, you know, I don't know if you guys know this. I got a lot of haters. They hate me because I'm very successful. They be jelly. That was a line in his stand-up act.
They be jelly?
Yes. Oh. And if you're watching this, you're going, is this guy having a stroke? What's happening? Why is he talking like that? Who are his haters? I've never heard of this guy. Or I knew him on Howard Stern 25 years ago. What the fuck is that? But like, so that's annoying. But to get angry about that, to go on Reddit and be like, fuck John. He deserves, I'm glad his kids don't talk to him. It's like, well, what are you doing? This is weirder than what John is doing. And so Lewis addressed that on Lewis and Zach, and I thought it was an interesting conversation they had.
So I couldn't scroll. I couldn't argue with trolls on Twitter. I stopped arguing with trolls on Twitter altogether.
It's tough. It's so hard.
Oh, there's been a couple. There's been a couple recently where I'm like, oh, I want to argue. But I made a decision that I'm going to stop arguing with trolls on Twitter. I was doing it just too much.
Yeah.
I was trolling the trolls, and they were trolling me back, and nobody was a winner here.
Yeah, I know.
It really is. It's pretty wild. Like, there's like adults who make accounts just to troll comedians.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, when you're making that account and you're like, dude, I'm going to make this account just so I can say mean things to Jim Norton. Like, you don't feel like a loser when you type in the
always like older gossipy men.
Yeah,
it's like weird.
Yeah. If it was like a 17-year-old kid, I would go like, have fun. You're young.
They listen to everything all day, and they're like, this guy said this and this and that.
It's a crazy
like
fucking thing.
Old.
Like, how do you think you're winning? I don't understand. Like, it's fine. I get what you're saying. You're saying mean things to comedians. I understand why maybe that you think that's fun, but at one point,
pause real quick
in the mirror and go.
There is, but this is where I think it's an interesting conversation because it's a very fine line, I think, because what Ian's referring to is true, where like there are people online all day that listen to all these shows every week. Every time they come out, they're listening to the show. Like you hear with Kirk's show, where there's people that hate the show, but they listen to every single episode, and they never liked it, but they're like, oh, it was better at this point. But if you went back to that point, they're like, the show sucks. They didn't like it then.
Yeah.
So that's like their sport to not like the show. But it's very difficult. I'll tell you why I say it's so such a delicate trapeze act you're walking here to criticize that, because those shows need that. I think the reason podcasts are so big is because people care so much about it. So to be like, oh, they gossip and they're losers for that is tough to say, because it just means they're passionate about the show. If you tweak that an eighth of an inch, it's people that are like, oh my God, Ian, I love you so much. I loved your special. I listen to every episode of your podcast. I come see you every time you're in my town. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't have success if you don't have that level of passion, and it's ignorant to think that won't happen the other way. You know what I mean? I do think those people are crazy, but it's a necessary evil, I think. And that's what's tough for people to get their minds around, because it's something that's never really been solved in the few decades that we've had real internet culture now, where our society is entirely based on that. People are always like, oh, Reddit's so negative or Twitter's so negative, whatever, but no one ever really acknowledges it and addresses it.
Yeah.
Like I do. That's why I think conversations like this are interesting to have and expand on, because you just kind of breeze by and you're like, oh, Reddit's negative. It's like, well, why is that? And will it always be that way? Like, or will we fucking grow up? Is it contributing to a lot of the negatives we have in society that have resulted in like real life things, because trolling is taking over all aspects of our life, not just the internet?
Well, it's also nice because the cool thing is to be like, I don't read comments, man.
Right. Well, that's why I like that Lewis is just like, no, I do.
Yeah. Right.
And he goes, even the people that say they don't, they're lying.
Right.
Like, everyone reads comments. Now, I'll push back on that a little bit.
But Bert will be like, yeah, I don't read the comments. I just happen to read this one. And then he lists like 80 of them.
Were you on the episode? We talked about that with Bert?
Probably.
Bert goes, Bert goes, I was looking for a picture of me lying down.
Yes.
So I Googled Bert Kreischer lying. It's like, Bert, come on. What a circuitous route to get to. I read mean comments about me. I read online that people think I'm lying. Why do you have to take that angle?
He just knew that sentence would be. Does he not see the difference too between lying and lying down?
Yeah. But it is interesting. Yeah, it would be laying down, right?
Right.
Bert Kreischer laying, not lying. But the reason I find this interesting because then I think about like this show, and I'm like, I don't feel that way about what I do. Like I don't like I this is my sports,
Mhm.
I used to want to do sports talk radio, then I got more obsessed with this world, and that's what I talk about now because it interests me. So is it this thing where it's like just me talking about comics is inherently negative and lame and gay? I'll
Yeah.
sue you, Ian Fidance.
Also, shout out to Ian Fidance. He's wearing a fucking Haywire hoodie. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, good for Ian. I don't know what that means, but
It's a Boston hardcore band that I did not know was outside of this area yet.
shout out to Ian. Well, I like Ian too, and Ian does get a lot of shit online and goes back at people. Going back at people probably not the best way to handle it, but I find it to be an interesting discussion because, like I said, it is sort of a necessary evil because the passion the other way. They're never like, oh, it's so gay that a fan came to my show and said he listens to everything I do and loves me. You know what I mean? They're not like, oh, that's so lame of them. Like you need that to be successful.
My life. I'm literally making an account to tweet at a man that I don't know.
They have nothing going on. That's the reason why. They have a dead-end job, and so they're sitting there and they're listening to all of us, and they're just like they feel like they're a part of it. So then they just like they
but
know.
there's fandom, and then there's an adult human who. I wonder what Stuttering John said last night.
Hey, wait a minute, Zach.
Hey, you should have kept your mouth shut, Zach.
Every time we play a clip of Zach Amico on this show, it's him openly disrespecting what we do.
What we're currently in the middle of.
Remember they played a clip of us once.
Yes.
And Zach was like, who are these losers?
Yes.
God damn it, Zach. I love you. Why do you hate everything I'm about?
I saw like a still shot of that video and I went, oh God. What's about to happen?
Zach, who has done an ad read for my podcast once. We advertised Why Are You Laughing on the Real Ass podcast. Just would hate me if he ever met me. And it's sad for me to realize that, but it's true.
To see what John Melendez, who has not been on media in 25 years, said, just kill yourself.
Stuttering John blocked me on everything. I don't.
Moose mentions that every time John's name, it bothers him because he's like, why? What did I do to this man?
He's like, apparently I'm missing so much good.
But I gotta say though, I don't view it like those guys talk about news. They talk about viral videos and shit like that. I don't view it as any different than that. That's what is kind of annoying when I hear conversations like that, where it's like, well, there are people that just find Stuttering John interesting, and now John goes away, so you find other things interesting,
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I understand the conversation is there are people that make us look bad. You know what I mean? There are people that obsess about John to an unhealthy degree, I think. And I don't know what we do about that as a society, really. Just calm the fuck down, I guess. You're making us look crazy.
Here we have them talking about fake accounts.
All right, yeah, they talk a little more about this.
Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't imagine even like saying something negative or like
No, I
mean.
understand saying something negative. I mean,
I don't know,
we do
like-
it, dude. We just trashed Long Legs. Like fuck Long
right,
Legs,
but we're
fuck the
not
director, fuck
going
the
online
Such a
and
good
being
movie.
like, here it is, fuck you, or like something on like a YouTube. Like I just don't understand.
So I don't consider
being
being
negative
critical of something online is not the same as creating an account, like a secret account with a
Right.
fucking a Trump photo to be like,
Right.
hey, fuck you, you're a comedian I hate.
When I heard that, I was like, all right, thank you, Lewis. So I'm allowed to do this then. I'm me. Oh, all right, thank you.
Zach just puts his finger up. 1 second.
Particularly not blind Mike.
That guy sucks.
How does he even know me? There is like kind of on the same topic. Josh Adam Myers, who was on that episode.
Yeah.
You've heard me talk about the Ari and Joe DeRosa show that ends Skankfest every year, right?
Yes.
Where they're brutally honest about comedians.
Yes.
This year, I left that show and walked into the bathroom, as many men do at that time. And Josh Adam Myers is in front of me. And I didn't hear what someone said to him, but he goes, "Nah, man, I didn't mind. I do need to write better jokes." And I thought that was very funny. But yeah, I think it's an interesting discussion, and like it does make me question a lot of the stuff that happens online. And gossiping is very gay and everything. Now let's hear Ari Shaffir talk about the Austin comedy scene, shall we?
I think so. I think we need.
All right, yeah, yeah. All that other stuff is gay, but here's Ari gossiping, and I really want to talk about it.
Are you amazed at the success of Austin or with the comedy scene in Austin? What do you think about it?
It's exciting. For sure, it's exciting. They got some shit to overcome if they want to be a real scene.
Yeah?
Yeah, they need to know where they're weak. They don't.
Oh, where they're weak, the comedians, you mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of like ass kissing there. It's like, we're great. And you really got to focus on why we're terrible. Self-hating was always drive you better than celebration.
Oh, you know what? That's a good. I don't know if there's as much self-hatred there.
Yeah, the store, especially when you started going there, like right after me, it was like nobody was there. Like, we suck. We fucking suck. It's obvious. No one's here to see us. So let's try to be better.
Yeah, they've kind of started out like doing well.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Jean Benet of comedy.
Yeah, 4-year comedy. Serious.
I didn't catch that the first time I heard this.
Oh, you needed that fucking struggle time. You started with a spotter. It's not the best way to work out.
I didn't even really think about that.
Yeah, but it's still exciting. It's a new burgeoning scene, and that's pretty exciting. You know, there's no Hollywood there to fuck it up, to like shit people away from what they're doing. So they're really just concentrating on jokes.
But so here's why I wanted to play that is like comedians have discussions like this. And I agree with Ari. I think that's an interesting conversation that like Tony Hinchcliffe mainly props a lot of these guys up that aren't ready to headline. And all of a sudden, Cam Patterson, who is funny, he's a massive comedian, a touring comedian now, like way too early before he has any actual material.
Way too early.
Before he has any material. So like, I think that's an interesting discussion, but you can't then shit on fans who are trying to also engage in that discussion. What the only cure for that is you just don't talk about comedy on podcasts anymore.
Right.
Because it's crazy for two comics to have a discussion about the Austin comedy scene and then be like, but the people online aren't allowed to do that. Stop the conversation right there.
I thought the funniest thing Cam Patterson ever said was when Tucker Carlson was on Kill Tony. He's like, my grandmother hates you.
No, she doesn't. Yes, she does.
That was funny.
Yeah. No, Cam's a very naturally funny guy, but he's like 25 years old. Like he doesn't have any material yet.
No.
And he like, I don't think he fully knows I was listening when the Protect Our Parks guys were on, and Cam said something about the LA fires. And he's like, I noticed all these chimneys are still standing. Why don't you make the whole house out of that? And when he gets done with his minute, Shane is laughing hysterically and goes, hey, Cam, why don't you make the whole plane out of the black box? And Cam goes, why don't they? Like he didn't know that joke even. So like he's just a very green comedian, but Tony is like, he's a legend. He's the greatest. So I do think that's an interesting discussion, and fans are allowed to have that discussion. Like that's what frustrates me when I hear a lot of these comics. Like Stavros does this a lot as well, where he's like, all these fans are so fucking gay for like caring about. It's like, well, those are the people that are buying your movie. Those are the people that are downloading your podcast and going to your shows. So like, is that gay when they do that? Because they're also going to have thoughts in the opposite direction. They're also going to think certain things suck, and they're allowed to voice that. But there are people that are fucking crazy that are like, what is John doing for work? We should try to get him fired. Why would you go to that level?
And speaking of Stavros, did you see his new movie?
I did.
I thought it was very funny.
It is. It was actually in that. It's weird. In that episode, Zach mentioned Stavi's movie and says it was very good. See, Zach, we get along.
Yes, we were on the same page.
No, it was very good. It was like a 90s comedy that they don't make anymore.
Correct. Yeah. And I enjoyed CM Punk, who's straight edge, being a drunken sexual pervert.
Yeah. That was funny.
It was very good.
It was the kind of movie you would have seen in the theaters 25 years ago and been like, that wasn't bad. But now they just don't make those anymore, you know?
Yeah. I enjoyed Stav in that movie a lot.
But yeah, that's it. That I wanted to have that kind of discussion because like I get both angles of it, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it is a stark difference to me. The people that go like, hey, isn't this fucking steel toe clip funny? You know, or pick your show that gets made fun of, Crystalia, whatever. Like, isn't this clip funny? Versus like, oh, they make me so mad. I hate them. I need to call them out. I need to take them to task. So there's some like, you know, there's somewhere we can meet in the middle. I feel, I guess is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
All right. What do we have left? Alec Baldwin, and then our surprise.
And our surprise, yeah.
Ooh, you guys are gonna like the surprise. Stick around.
God, we hope so.
Yeah, or you might hate it, but we'll see. But first, Alec Baldwin is taken back to Insta. Oh, I should have told you this before the show. Make sure the videos are in the right order. Are they?
The one that's not on the couch first.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the way he starts the second video is very funny, but we need to hear the first video first. So Alec is kind of getting back to his old style. Maybe he knows how to put asses in the seats for the Baldwin's premiere, which I think is next week.
I mean, it's going to direct the show for what, 10 weeks?
Yeah, probably. But Alec's like, I know what I'll do. I'll start making inane rants on Instagram again. That'll get people watching.
Go sink with money.
So Alec is taking Instagram and has some very important things to say, as he always does.
It's a lot of snow here in New York. I'll sneak out here. It's actually turning to rain right now. But got a couple of inches. I don't know what it's an inch and a half.
Let's go to the Doppler radar. As you see here, there's a cold front moving in from the west.
I want him to be inspired by Al Caprillion. Good evening.
What is he doing? Alec just turned on. This is a decorated Hollywood actor. He just turned on his phone and goes, "Boy, some weather we're having here." Huh? I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but in the Northeast, we like to say, if you don't like the weather, just give it 15 minutes. That always gives me a great deal of laughter. My belly really gets all butterflies when I hear that line.
To New York in wintertime, I love that. It's been a real winter. It's been cold, about 20 degrees. I'm hovering around 25 degrees. Clearly freezing.
Celsius, of course.
Yes, and how about that ride-in, gang? As the traffic is backed up on the BQE, and we've got we're going to go to Hilaria, who's in the chopper right now. Hilaria, what can you tell us from up there?
It's how you say cloudy.
Hi, I'm Alec Baldwin for Weather on the 8s.
I want him to give me my traffic updates every time.
Now get ready, because you might think spring is right around the corner, but our 10-day forecast says otherwise.
Yeah. Panasonic Tooth in the chat says, and here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Now, before we have too much fun, I want to give a reminder that it is Abigail Smith's 97th birthday. Happy birthday, Abigail. Boy, 97 candles. That's got to be a lot to blow out.
He could do it. There is on was it 10:30, whatever the hell it is, the AM channel around here.
10 wins in New York.
I don't remember. Whatever the one around here is, there's in the traffic copter, there is a transgender person. So he'll fit right in. He'll be like, this is what I need after playing Trump.
For like a couple of weeks, and we have snow today. Might have some more snow later in the week. I love snow. I love winter. I love skiing. I love cold weather. I love cold.
What else do you love? I love blueberries.
I'm a big fan of popsicles.
I love long walks. I love the sound of rain. I love
hot weather. You're going to be in the pool. You know? Anyway, a couple quick things. I played football when I was in high school.
What? He's like Larry King.
That was the most random thing he's ever said.
Couple quick things. I was one heck of a left tackle in my day. They said I wasn't as big as the other boys, but my heart was 10 sizes larger.
And while I have your attention, the YMCA is the gayest song I've ever heard.
He just ends with that.
Next video is him just being like, turns out I didn't know what I was talking about.
I like baking bread. I like a nice glass of tea in the morning.
You're going to be in the pool. You know? Anyway, a couple quick things. I played football when I was in high school. Not very well, because believe it or not, I was skinny back then. I was really skinny.
What, Alec? What is this?
I mean, we've all seen you in the old movies. We know you were thinner.
Hi, this is Believe It or Not with Alec Baldwin. I once played Martin Sheen in a game of chess and won. Did you know that?
Us. We had guys on the line and in the backfield who looked like grown men. Steve Firenze was our quarterback. He looked like
Hold on. What's that name?
Steve Firenze?
Steve Firenze had one heck of a tight spiral.
He had a rocket arm.
He was, he had a similar thing to Tom Brady, where early in his freshman season, people called him more of a game manager. And boy, later in his career, he was really lobbing them down the field. And it would have been nice to see him get a good, sure pair of hands. But we never had a great receiving game. But with me on the line, I'll tell you, he was very secure.
He never had to worry about his blind side with me out there.
This is really what Alec Baldwin just did. He goes, all right, of course, we're going to hit the weather. We have to get to the weather. We got to take care of business up top. We're going to get to the weather. But then we're going to get a little lighter. And we're going to talk about my high school football days.
Now we're going to send it over to Alec with sports.
And I took Becky Griffin to the junior dance.
She looked good on my arm at the pep rally.
And, we had a lovely time, but I went to kiss her at the end of the night, and she actually wasn't interested. And, that really bummed me out. But then when I was in Beetlejuice, I guess you could say I got the last laugh, I imagine
I was thin in that movie.
I'm sure she has a lovely family now, but I am Alec Baldwin after all,
in the backfield who look like grown men. Steve Firenze was our quarterback. He looked like he was a grown man. Our offense, I used to call our offense Tony right, Tony left. With the feedback.
Like, all these people just like, please don't say my name.
He gives no explanation as to why he's doing this, by the way. I call them Tony right and Tony left. Oh, the fun we had in the locker room. And that's back when guys could be guys. And I won't tell you the type of talk that was going on, but it was salty for sure. And, you know, I'm a liberal man. Times have changed. But at that time, we were just having good-natured fun. At least that's how we saw it anyways. And, boy, did Tony right and Tony left keep Steve Firenze safe back there in the pocket.
I'm naming this episode Steve Firenze.
I feel it has to be, yeah. You know, respect to Francesco Cinquemani, but we've moved on.
Remember you fondly.
There are people walking by going, oh, is that Alec Baldwin? I wonder what he's talking about. Maybe the Emmys are coming. I mean, the Oscars are coming up. Maybe he's giving his take on that. Nope. He's talking about high school quarterback Steve Firenze. Which, by the way, Steve Firenze is a great failed Jets quarterback name.
Oh my God.
Steve Firenze, he had a short run in training camp with the Jets, but you know, he just didn't have what it took. Sort of a Jason White type of story. The Heisman winner from Oklahoma. That's how I think of Steve Firenze's career. But my God, in high school, could he really zero in with that spiral and hit any target he desired?
Steve Firenze, the original gunslinger. No pun intended.
That's the Brett Favre of his day.
And I just looked it up because I was curious. I guess you can watch Rust on Amazon Prime now.
What was the third thing after weather and sports? Oh, right. Go watch the movie where I shot a woman and ended her life.
Imagine how that would have looked on the snow.
That reminds me. I like cowboy movies. These are great segments. Local news can learn from you. Bam, right out of the gate, weather. hit them with weather before they're even expecting it.
Whoa.
Then you go to the segment I like. Where, much like a child, Alec Baldwin just lists things he likes for a few seconds. And then you go to sports.
You know, Reservoir, you coming with us?
Make a right.
Come on, you're coming with us.
Please, what a fake laugh. Please, for the love of God, get me out of here where I have to interact with the common man.
Do you know what I do to people who stand in front of me for too long?
Hey, Alec, you done I like yet today?
I'm doing it right now.
That's what he's getting recognized in the streets for. Hey, it's the I like guy. What's he like today?
Oh my God, he's recording on iPad.
Tony right, Tony left.
Did you go back, or did he bring their names up again?
He brought their names up again.
Let me hear that again. We must have missed a segue. He didn't just randomly talk about Tony right and Tony left again.
Oh, you're coming with us.
Tony right, Tony left.
The Twin Towers on our offensive line.
That's
tower.
Tony right, Tony
left. Nose tackles shuddered. You would see these gargantuan men, these big built defensive linemen. They would get weak in the knees when they saw Tony right and Tony left.
It just rewound it again because I don't want you to think that I rewound it. He said it again.
There's no context that I'm missing for Tony right. He doesn't say they're both named Tony and they were both tackles. He doesn't say one's name was Tony right, so the other we called Tony left. He just keeps saying their names for no reason.
they're coming across this like, shut the fuck up.
Tony right, Tony left. Tony right, Tony left, and we threw the ball. Not much, I guess.
And it was so sad.
Steve Firenze is a bum.
To see a talent like Steve Firenze thwarted like that. It's like having LeBron James ride the bench early in his career. It didn't make any sense to us. You see a talent like Steve Firenze being held down.
Jerry Lahane in the chat says the guy that talked to him was Opie.
Alec, just walk around. You don't have to have anything. Just walk around the streets, and that's content somehow.
I mean, in this case, it's correct.
Alec is providing something much more than Opie, though. Opie, start doing weather and traffic like Alec.
Opie, kill a fucking cinematographer and then do it.
Money back. I played football, and I was a tackling dummy. And these guys could hit you. That was what it was all about, you know.
Really getting your bell rung. I mean, if that doesn't inject life into you, I don't know what does, quite frankly. And let me just take a moment to say that there's a pile up in front of the Holland Tunnel. So try and avoid that if you can.
Watching Namath hit Maynard on the dead run. That timing that Namath had. I know Namath gets diminished lately. I don't know. Did they think Super Bowl III was a fluke? They played the Colts. And
what?
He tried to sexually assault a woman on the sideline. That's kind of the issue.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Joe Namath all of a sudden.
Oh, remember him with Susie Colbert. That was a lot of fun. That was, quite frankly, what I thought. People said that was classic Joe Namath. I looked at that and said, that's classic Steve Firenze. Steve was a real party animal, and that's exactly how he would have done it, by God. Broadway Steve, we called him.
I was going to say Broadway Steve Firenze.
He was a ladies' magnet and a bit of a booze hound, but not to his detriment. He always got out there on Friday nights and let the pigskin fly.
Was like the man that season, not Unitas who came in as a backup. But
anyway, but seriously, folks. Now that I've done my bits about football and weather, let's get serious for a moment.
The athletic aspect of football, running, catching, throwing, and then hitting. In the end, you realize it's about hitting. These guys would hit you when I was in high school. It hurt.
You know what I really liked? They don't do it anymore because of that darn concussion movie, but Jacked Up on ESPN, that really got my juices flowing. When Tom Jackson and the boys would yell, "Oh, you got jacked up." Yes, he sir. And that reminds me of what Steve Firenze would do, where he could pinpoint the ball so that two defensemen would clash into each other. That's how amazing this guy was. He could hit the tight end and have the defense running wild in a juxtaposition.
I just received a message from one box eating dad.
What does he have to say?
Who found Steve Firenze?
Boy, was that quick.
Not only did he find him, that's not his real name. It's Firenze.
Well, maybe he said Firenze. It's possible, no?
100 times?
Don't make me go back.
Hold on, I'm going back a little bit.
The athletic aspect of football, running, catching, throwing, and then hitting. In the end, you realize it's about hitting. These guys would hit you.
That's right. As you guys know, I like taking the life out of someone, and that's the feeling I got on the set of Rust, and it's also the feeling I had on the football field when I would just make someone see stars. Boy, that really felt good. And it wasn't, in this time, we didn't know all the namby-pamby concussion stuff that you have today. This is back when men were men, and you could really just get someone's goose out on the field, really smoke them.
It hurt. It really hurt. Freddie Monahan, Jackie Luxinger, Rocky Gnome.
Freddie Monahan. By the way, the lieutenant in Quincy is named Frank Monahan. Coincidence?
I don't think so. He's willy-nilly with the gun himself.
What is he naming? Offensive lineman?
It's just his whole team. Probably wants nothing to do with this guy.
Listen, I've sung the praises of Tony Right and Tony Left, but they didn't do it by themselves. So shout outs to Freddie Monahan.
Freddie Monahan, Jackie Luxinger, Ropley Known.
These are great names.
Coleman.
What was that? Oh, Jack Coleman. Boy, now that kid's got what it takes. Have you ever seen? Now, guys, have you seen this kid? He opens baseball cards online, and you would think that's fairly innocuous, but he does it with such pizzazz that it really. I have to watch when he sometimes he does it with an Irish brogue, and I find that really, frankly, it's just fun, is what it is. If Alec Baldwin was a big Coleman fan,
that would make sense.
Man, I gotta tell you, that Tommy stream, I watched all 36 hours of it. It was.
I put 13 holes in my wall that night.
What's really amazing. Did you see Mike's face when Kirk says Jim Tomey, and it went right over Coleman's head? Boy, that kid, he's lovable and infuriating all at the same time. I love that Coleman.
I'm leaving out a lot of names, a lot of names of guys that were just Keith Michaelis, all these guys that when they hit you.
Keith Michael, these are good, solid high school football names.
Keith Michaelis? Is that his name?
I think he said Keith Michaels.
Oh, I thought he said Keith Michaelis. I was like,
Keith Michaels definitely died graduation night in a drunk driving accident. We really rallied around the passing of Keith Michaels.
Names of guys that were just Keith Michaelis.
Oh, you're right. He said Michaelis.
he's a Greek apparently.
Keith Michaelis.
So when they hit you, it really, really hurt. It really, really hurt. So,
hey, shut up, bitch! I'm talking about the bad boys of Long Island football.
Quiet on set.
The fear we provoked in people's eyes. It was like seeing the 80s Raiders come back. Like, and not to brag, but I was their Bill Romanowski.
I have this Steve Firenze high school photo.
Can we see it? Don't harass Steve Firenze, obviously. But
no, he's Steve Firenze to us.
Yeah, he'll always be Steve Firenze.
Hold on, I'll pop it up in a second.
Unless it gives out like personal information, but if we got his stats, we got to see those.
No, it's literally just his high school photo. Like,
okay. Box Eating Dad, see if you can find Steve Firenze's stats.
Yeah, find his football stats, please.
We got it. Those got to be somewhere.
Of course he.
It'd be great if he's awful, and Alec, like, if we make fun of his numbers, we're like, this guy wasn't even that good. And Alec contacts me, and he's like, "You don't understand. That's what I was saying. Is he was limited by the coaching staff, and his numbers reflected that. They didn't reflect his talent. You idiot. That's what I was trying to say."
How do you not understand?
I was saying, despite the security that Keith Michaelis and Freddie Monahan provided, along with the Twin Towers, Tony Right and Tony Left.
Michaelis. Hold on.
Freddie Monahan was definitely like the dope. He was an enforcer, but he was like an idiot, a lovable idiot,
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's Freddie Monahan.
Oh crap! What I hit. Here we go. All right, I'm getting the picture up right now.
All right.
It's some other people. He has them circled for everyone that's watching here.
There we are, the bad boys. And led by our king, Steve Firenze. And, a lot of people think because of the fame and success that I went to, that I was, Mr. Popular. But really, our leader was Steve Firenze. We all looked up to him. The boys wanted to be Steve Firenze. And, of course, the ladies wanted to be with Steve Firenze. He was the prom king, and he's really everything I wanted to be in high school.
There he is, circled on the screen.
Shout out to, is he a good-looking guy?
He's a good-looking guy.
All right, shout out to Steve Firenze.
Broadway Steve Firenze.
America's quarterback.
He was a mid-football player and ended up playing lacrosse in college.
Listen, I know we've interrupted this a lot, and that annoys people. No matter how many times we interrupt this, we still haven't gotten an explanation of who the fuck. Why is he mentioning these people?
Friends with Firenze.
He's like, boy, let me give a quick 10-second synopsis of what Alec Baldwin came on to do here. Boy, it's chilly out here. I like clear blue skies. I played football with Steve Firenze when I was young. That's the video so far.
Don't forget Tony left to Tony right.
Freddie Monahan.
That's right.
I like to think he usually goes by Fred Monahan, but Alec and the boys, they call him Freddie.
All right, back to it.
All right.
To the looking forward to the Super Bowl. It'll be a great game.
It wasn't.
Chiefs win, great. Philadelphia wins, great. I only know I'm a big Saquon.
But I'll tell you, Saquon, he came close to breaking. Is it Eric Dickerson's record this year? Is that what he was approaching? But I'll tell you, he would have surpassed it by miles with Freddie Monahan on the offensive line of that Philadelphia Eagles offense. That would have really been. If Saquon was rushing behind Tony left and Tony right, can you imagine what he could have done?
See that running game. When I was younger, we would say if you could be anything in pro sports,
it would be Steve Firenze.
He was a multi-sport athlete.
If you could be one man, it would have been high-flying Broadway Steve.
Years of a healthy career, what would you be? And my friends would say, oh, I'd be a point guard and shoot the ball, and I'd be a tennis player and be the champion. And
idiots.
Be a heavyweight champion at box. The deadliest relief pitcher in the game. Whatever.
Whatever.
Golf. And I said I want to give you the most feared running back in the NFL.
I want people to fear me the way they now do when I'm holding props on a movie set.
Now I'm the most feared actor in a Western movie ever.
Finally, I didn't get it on the gridiron, but finally, people fear me when they are cast in a Western with me. I love that. Alec Baldwin, look at Alec Baldwin and think, this man wanted to be Barry Sanders. That was his great. And by the way, list some more positions in sports, Alec. He's like, you could have played tennis and been a great tennis champion. You could have been a boxer and been a feared heavyweight. You could have played baseball and been a dynamite shutdown relief. We get it, Alec. These are all positions.
You could play golf. You could have been a tremendous putter.
But man, I wanted to burst off that offensive line and really make linebackers quake all around America.
Everybody's ass tightened.
Their asses tightened because I was going to get in that ass. No one with Steve Firenze slinging it and me rushing the ball. There was no stopping us.
Anytime the director says action, everyone's ass tightens behind the camera.
We were like John Elway and Terrell Davis. We really had something special.
Whatever. All those things, golf. And I said I want to give you the most feared running back in the NFL. And I came on the field, everybody's ass tightened.
Ah, it's Alec, and he's got a gun.
Get it down.
No, it's not loaded. Uh-oh.
I'm going to do at least 5-6 yards of carry. Jimmy Brown.
Jimmy Brown. I like that he wanted serviceable numbers.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, I wanted my numbers to be very good. People would look at that and say, boy, that's a tremendously respectable high school running back. Not crazy, though. I'm not asking for mountains here. 5 or 6 yards per carry. I wanted to be, if we needed a first down, I'm your guy. I don't want to be, I'm not all flash like some of these guys today.
Give me the ball 2 times.
I wanted to be an electric running back. I wanted to have great numbers. I wanted to be the most feared running back in the NFL.
I wanted to be a head down north-south runner.
just pound the ball. Give it to Alec. And I would tire out defenses.
More sets. All of them. Hundreds of them I could name.
Then do it. I dare you.
I'm not going to, of course. I've already named 50 people I went to high school with for no reason.
He named 2 running backs. He's like, I could name hundreds.
Oh, man. I could go on all day, but I'd rather tell you about Steve Firenze and Freddie Monahan.
I want to be a running back, but again, healthy for 10 years. Anyway, so...
Listen, I still want my wits about me. I don't want to be one of these guys that walks to the end of his driveway and doesn't know where he is. You know, I still want... Rest in peace, Walter Payton, of course. But I would have eaten that guy's lunch. and I'm not being greedy with the ball. I'm not like Saquon where I need these stats. I would have just mercilessly tired out the offense. And then you let Steve Firenze, it's Firenze time after that. Where they're like, is Alec going to pound it again? Oh no, my friends.
You guess what Steve Firenze's current occupation is?
Real estate?
Nope.
What?
Think more in the vein of Quincy.
He's a coroner?
No, close.
Oh, what is he?
He's a morgue clerk.
It really bums me out to see what Steve Firenze has become. I mean, that's a tale as old as time.
Alex, like, it was nice when our work got to cross over. I got to see him again.
That's a tale as old as time. The prom king, the high school quarterback, and now he's still in the town they grew up in, just working at the morgue. You know, hey, it's a job. It puts food on the table. Oh, Steve, I thought you were going to go for it in the NFL.
He's got the Stanza haircut.
Steve, do you remember when I would tire out that defense and they'd think they're going to run the ball again? Alec is, you got to give it to the hot hand. You got to keep giving it to Alec. And then you would go aerial. Firenze time had defenses second-guessing themselves all over Long Island.
Boxing Death is Cool Hand Steve.
There's got to be a play on word with Firenze. I can't get there, but someone will, I'm sure.
We will. Forensic.
Firenzone.
I love football. Last game of the season, it's over. I'm sad. I love football. It's my favorite game.
Sad the season is over. Steve Firenze's career is over. It's all really makes you, when you get to this age, you start to think, and you see Steve Firenze working at a goddamn morgue. You think, what was this all for? You know, he had so much potential. And now, I'll admit, I almost get excited when an old high school pal dies because it means I get to go see Steve Firenze. I stop by the morgue and I see what Stevie's up to. We have a game of catch.
Fox Eating Dad says Sappers clear the way, Firenze all the way.
Watch out, girls. It's Firenze time.
But I like other sports. I used to go to the Knick games all the time at the Garden. I love when I was in LA going to the Dodger game. I love LA. I love that.
But I'll tell you what, I would go to the Garden. Allen Houston didn't have shit on watching a Steve Firenze Friday night football game. I'll tell you that much. You can give Carmelo Anthony could have all the flash in the world, but he was no Steve Firenze. Steve played the game the way it should have been played.
Steve was one of a kind, is all I'm trying to say.
Steve could have played basketball if he wanted to, but he chose the gridiron.
Always had a good time there. But football's my favorite. So hopefully a good game tomorrow. Philly and Chiefs. Want to say I put a little post up there, a picture of my pal Tony Roberts, who starred in all those great earlier Woody.
Was that one of the Tonys? That's Tony Middle.
Center.
Great actor, funny, and he was the loveliest guy. He was such a gentleman. He was a very humble guy. I loved him.
He doesn't get an entire post like he was no Francesco Cinquemani, but he was nice to work with, though. He was a heck of a guy.
And last, I was gonna say, shit, I forgot what it was. Something about the government.
Well, let me finish with this. Don't forget to bring your coats out there because it is a chilly one.
It is frosty.
You know, the last couple winters we've been lucky, so just try and remember that as you're clearing your windshields this morning because it is icy out there, gang.
Super Bowl's tomorrow. Snow's on the ground.
What the fuck was it?
Come on, Alec. Think.
That was the end.
That was it?
Yeah.
Alec, you talked about how great Steve Firenze is. You did Weather on the Eights.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You did everyone's favorite game show, I Like, with Alec Baldwin. Shout out to Freddie Monahan and the boys. You memorialized Tony Roberts, of course. Come on, what was it? So this is the reason we have a second Alec Baldwin clip. This is 2 days later.
So I remember the third thing.
This is when I'm really glad I don't watch these.
Damn it. Come on, Alec. He's sitting around the house. Hilaria's doing her accent and shaking her maracas. He's like, oh, this bitch. I'll never think of what it was with her making all that racket. I got it. Back to Instagram. This is a day and a half, 2 days later. So Alec, the whole time, was like, come on, Steve Firenze. You nailed that segment.
The snow is frosty.
I like. Did you catch when he was guessing? He goes, "Was it the government?"
Yeah, that's why I was laughing.
Was that? Did I want to rail against Trump? What was it? Damn it! Come on, Alec, think. These people need to hear my inane observations.
So I remember the third thing I was going to post the other day, and that is the movie Becoming Led Zeppelin. I went to the IMAX right near
This is
Lincoln Center. I went up to that one on Broadway
government
and watched in IMAX Becoming Led Zeppelin. It is so wonderful.
I just remembered. I knew I had to tell you guys this. I went to the movies. Of course, I did weather and sports. Naturally, I had to get to entertainment.
It's so beautiful. And of course, there's only voice tracks, interview tracks of Bonham because he didn't do a lot of press and he died, obviously. So he wasn't available. But John Paul.
He wasn't available.
There.
He died 40 years ago.
He was not available for comment.
I assume they reached out to John Bonham, but his line was disconnected for one reason or another. I hope he's all right. Shout out John Bonham. We're praying for you, buddy.
In full glory, talking about their careers. And you realize that all these bands that are these great bands, it's work. The songwriting, the touring.
That reminds me, speaking of death, Ethel McGillicuddy is turning age 100 today. Congratulations, Ethel.
Ethel McGillicuddy.
It's work. It's a lot of work. So these guys worked hard to become Led Zeppelin.
So really, let's just give it up for Led Zeppelin, huh? Boy, they worked their tails off.
Being at one point the most famous band on earth is a lot of work.
Whether you're Steve Firenze and your dreams died and you work at a morgue, or you're Led Zeppelin, let's just give it a shout out to working hard. What do you say?
It's a morgue clerk.
Broadway Steve Firenze. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being a morgue clerk, but when you have the weight of being Steve Firenze in high school on your shoulders.
Alec Baldwin is talking how great you are at everything.
Alec Baldwin was your running back. He just set him up so Steve Firenze could knock him down.
I'm very nostalgic from my music. I love, I grew up in an era that was not exclusively, but the real pillars were Beatles, Stones, Zeppelin, Who.
Boy, you really go deep, huh, Alec?
Wow.
I can't believe I forgot this. I wanted to give you guys a recommendation. That was the third thing. Have you heard of a band called Led Zeppelin?
You by any chance heard of the Beatles?
They're pretty obscure. I tried to get John Bonham on to promote his little project, and he has not returned my call.
Yeah, the Beatles were this obscure band that only played live shows for about 7 years.
Their front man was John Lennon, and I'm not sure what happened to him.
I haven't heard from him in a while.
It says here he was last seen at some sort of book signing for Catcher in the Rye. I don't know why he would have been there, but
I really that was the foundation, and then around that there was everything else. The Grateful Dead and Crosby, Stills, Nash, and then Young, Moody Blues, Frank Zappa, on and on and on.
Man, this guy has some obscure tastes.
I will say Zappa kind of was obscure.
Everyone knows the name Frank Zappa at this point.
That's true, I guess, but his music was weird.
I suppose, yeah.
Wait, Becoming Led Zeppelin, the documentary, go see it. Go see it.
Finally, it's like I had a sneeze caught for 2 days, and finally I've got it out. It's like having a song stuck in your head. It was really bugging me. It was on the tip of my tongue. I thought, what was that third thing? And then I realized what I had to do was get on Instagram and recommend a documentary about Led Zeppelin, something you guys never would have found without me.
I got Steve Firenze up on the screen one more time for everybody.
Shout out Steve Firenze.
He's an incredible guy.
He really is. Well, he was.
He was. Now he's the last thing all our relatives see.
He's the Grim Reaper. Which would have been a great football name.
Really
No, the Grim Reaper was Freddie Monahan. Weren't you listening to me?
Oh, man.
Oh, was that the end of Alex's video?
That was the end of Alex's video.
Okay, well, good. I like Alex new. Fuck the reality show. I wish he would just do that every day.
That would be incredible. He'd be back in the good graces pretty quick.
Alec made that first video, and then the whole day went by. He literally watched the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
he watched Kendrick's halftime show. Saw the Eagles upset the Chiefs. Who would have expected? He sees Taylor Swift get, and in the middle of all that, the biggest thing I got it. It was that Led Zeppelin documentary. Damn it!
Hey, Laria. Turns out that Drake's a pedophile. I really, truly. Led Zeppelin.
To Instagram. Boy, Tom Brady hasn't really found his way as a Led Zepp, the documentary. Yes. I love you, Alec. Keep making videos like that. And shout out to Steve Firenze. Listen, not all our dreams work out, but you had the high school days, baby. And maybe maybe he's at peace and he likes being a morgue clerk. Who am I to judge?
Broadway Steve Firenze. So I got some super chats.
Steve, what happened to all those luscious locks you had? Alex so disappointed because looking at Steve Firenze shows him time has passed. Where's my life gone?
Super chat from Turbo 7049, $2. 2 members died of AIDS, not gay at all. Talk about the Village people.
No, that's not gay. Listen, they weren't gay, and fuck you for thinking it. They were just boys. It was probably like Eazy-E or Magic Johnson, you know?
Exactly. Dang Lizard, 2 pounds. I hear super chatting is very gay and destroys shows.
Hey, that's we could sue you for that.
That's true. Prairie Judge, $10. Take another couple weeks off, Craig. Need our quarterback well rested.
That's true. That's what Craig. When Casey's here, just know that Craig is warming up the cannon like Steve Ferret.
Yeah, I'm doing those, those band workouts.
Craig's got a headband on and those arm bands.
that new sports tape to keep me in line.
Craig's all about plyometrics.
Yeah, exactly. TB12, pretty good. African King, $5. Can you weigh in on Shuli employing, befriending, and covering for a pedophile? 6,000.
That's old news, isn't it? We all know that.
We did a whole thing on this, sir.
Yeah, that's yesterday's tomatoes.
Truly disturbing. Yes, we agree. Well,
Craig's lifestyle suggests it's all fine. It's all cool, man. Craig doesn't judge what people do behind closed doors, you know?
Michael Redden, $5. Steve brought the crowd into a Firenze.
That's a great Jim Nantz call.
Yeah. Lastly, Joe from Virginia, $2. Great show, boys. Thank you. Hashtag Craigophile.
Thank you, buddy. Shout out to j37shop.com.
That's right.
All right. Oh, shit. So now our treat for everyone. Let's see. What time is it here?
Almost noon.
Oh, that's it. Boy, we've got plenty of time. Jeez. Yeah. In my mind, that Alec Baldwin thing was like 3 hours. I could have talked about Steve Firenze all day.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough to top Alec Baldwin, but we haven't done this in a while. And it hit me the other day. I was like, you know what? We had a lot of fun with, and we never revisited. We did it once.
That's right.
These Dhar Man videos. We had a heck of a lot of fun solving racism.
That's right, at the kids' party.
Remember? Yeah. And this week we're going to solve a different problem. So if you don't know Dhar Man, my pal Royce Lopez introduced this to me. I think I'm going to be on their show this week. And boy, do people not like Mersh.
I know.
I don't know. I might have to ask him about it because I said I was doing ROTC, which got moved to this week. I'm doing this week. And people are like, don't associate with Mersh. And I'm like, really? I know he's like a goofball on the internet, but is he poison to be on a screen with? I do a show with Craig, who's done monstrous things.
That's not true.
I don't do a show with you?
No, you do a show with me, yes.
Okay.
You do several, actually.
So yeah, man, I'll have to bring that. But Royce showed me these Dhar Man videos. I know Legion of Skanks have covered them and shit. And I don't know exactly what they are.
TJ Shaver in the chat says, "Stay away from Mersh." Explain yourself.
Yeah, what? Tell me why. I'm open-minded as to what, but why? Why do people say that?
Yeah, come on.
And stay away from. It's not like we're having a sleepover. Like I'm doing their show for 45 minutes.
Mersh is a cocaine vampire, very dangerous.
Look, he does coke.
Who cares?
Yeah, who gives a shit? I don't know. But I'll get to the bottom of that on Tuesday. For now, we're talking Dhar Man, where these are videos. I guess they're supposed to be like little slices of life, life lessons of sorts. And they always really hit the nail on the head. It's a problem you've probably experienced, and it shines a different light on it and makes you think, oh, maybe I could change my behavior. And this week, we are dealing with a girl who's very talented, but has some struggles at home. I don't want to give too much more away than that. But let's join. This is how it starts. These are very well written, and the timing on them. This is just how always good to have an abrupt start out of nowhere.
That's right.
Yeah.
You should be ashamed. You want to go?
And to everyone listening, the girl is holding a basketball. They're on an outdoor court. There's a black guy she's challenging, and he's got a white sidekick.
So I got a feeling we're going to learn a little something about gender here. And it doesn't matter what's swinging between your knees. If you're good at basketball, you're good at basketball. Skill knows not gender, I think is what we're about to learn here.
TJ Shaver says he's a lol cow contagious. and just
Yeah, but so is like I've done shows with Tom Myers and Richard Ojeda. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit?
And he just said, "Just remember, I warned you," which is kind of
That is very funny. Again, I'm open minded, but like, what if I go on and ask him about that? Is that like against the rules? Like, well, I don't get why that's such a bad thing.
yeah. Open with that. See how the rest of the show goes.
Say, Mersh, what the fuck?
There's no way he doesn't know that that's out there, right?
Oh, there are porcelain documentaries about him. There's a subreddit
really?
dedicated to him. Oh yeah.
Porcelain got him. I have to watch it.
Oh yeah, I have watched it and it's interesting. I just don't get why he's a guy where they're like, don't even go on his show. Like I don't get.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, you should do the show and be like, Marsh, thanks for having me. I don't get why the internet hates you. I enjoyed my time.
I want to be clear. I'm not associating with you. Just getting ahead of this thing.
I am here for my friend Royce.
Royce invited me. I don't know who you are, sir.
I like Royce a lot.
Yeah, Royce is a good guy.
Wait a minute, you know who I am?
Just some guy.
Just some guy. This is my court, little lady, and I never lose.
Yeah, that's because you ain't played me yet.
Bro, you're gonna let a girl talk to you like that? Look, I ain't playing no girl. Because she might just get hurt.
Yeah, or you might.
Whatever.
How about we?
This is some tough, very real dialogue we've got.
That's the white guy that, by the way, that was talking about.
Let me hear that again.
That was what?
This is all such natural dialogue. These, for those of you that aren't familiar with Dhar Man, it appears they were all written by what's that guy's name? Tommy Wiseau. Tommy Wiseau. Is that it?
Yes.
They've all got a very The Room vibe.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she might just get hurt.
Yeah, or you might.
Whatever.
How about we put some money on it?
Very natural.
Yeah.
Ha! Run it.
Let's go. See what you got. We run this town. What? Oh, what are you doing?
Pickpocketed by a woman.
She's breaking ankles out there.
Yeah.
Listen, it's fine to be like this young lady, but it's got nothing on being the most feared running back in Long Island history.
On our courts. Okay.
Oh, man.
By the way, we are going somewhere. We have to get through this to get to what I believe is one of the great characters in film history. Just wait for a second.
What? You see, I'm trying to finish this.
Oh, here we go.
I just wanted
Go back. I'm sorry. Go back. So we barely see it, but she smokes these fools on the court.
Yes.
And then she goes home to report her day to her father, who, this guy, I mean, talk about a piece of work. It's just, haven't we all had this experience? Let's watch this character and tell me if this doesn't resonate.
What? No! You just got cooked by a girl on our courts. Okay. Did you say?
Oh, hi, Dad.
Pause real quick. These basketball games, we'll see more as this goes on. They're one-shot basketball games. It's a game to one. They're always like they have one play. She makes a basket, and they're like, "Well, I guess you win."
Here's money.
Here's the money we never agreed on.
Dad.
Ow!
Dad.
What? You see, I'm trying to finish this.
He's working on a 1997
I just
Toyota
wanted
Camry.
Hear what I said? I'm just trying to finish this.
You bitch.
What is it?
It's to help with paying bills and car repairs.
I don't think $10 is gonna make much of a dent.
I gotta say, she's old enough. I kind of agree with him. It is a little childish for this girl to be like, "Well, Dad, our numbers come in. Problems out the window.
Seems
Look who just fixed everything. Here's a tenner.
Seems like 10 more bucks than he had before, though.
Here's a 10-ski." So I kind of agree with the old man on this one.
Got a little surprise for you. Oh, What do we got here?
A little something.
Well, let's see what
What
this.
terrible timing for this girl.
Whoa! $436.20. And that's what I'm talking
Pause. My man. Now, if I'm going to be consistent here, $10 doesn't fix all their problems. Neither does 430, quite frankly.
No, but it gets groceries.
I like that he gives him. By the way, this was posted 3 days ago. This is not from 1908. He gave him the 20 cents.
Right.
He's like, here, and make sure you take these 2 dimes.
Oh, son, that is so thoughtful of you. And I just want you to know that I appreciate you because I know you're working hard.
Just trying to help.
Now, that's good writing. You know, we've all been there where you're like, wouldn't he see his hypocrisy when it's right in front of him like that?
I know this is your favorite part of the show, and I have to be like, I know you can't see this,
Mm.
but they're arguing about the money, and she gave him $10, and now they're realizing she's texting on her iPhone.
Oh my God, you spoiled bitch.
What are you doing standing around? You can't fix a carburetor, but won't you get in the house? Get out the way.
I'm angry. Am I not conveying that in my tone?
Oh, I also didn't realize the brother had a bag of groceries too on top of the $400.
I'm just the man. Boy, the timing of that. If she got there 10 minutes earlier or later, she wouldn't have embarrassed herself so much.
That's right.
Make yourself useful.
Get this too.
The protagonist is beautiful by all accounts. Not a hair out of place. Her makeup is on point. She's dressed in the latest fashions, and she is admired by every man in the village.
Oh, so like the opposite of Bryn.
The bullies are always the best in the show.
Yeah.
Where out of nowhere,
Why don't you
they're just like, oh, like that cunt.
The author's exploring.
Could you repeat the question?
If I do you think you'll be able to answer it? Or are you just stalling?
Do you want me to answer that question?
Joseph.
Bryn, could you tell us a little bit more about some of the themes the author is exploring?
Bryn, you idiot. Would you like to answer this?
He's thinking about how challenging the loss of innocence is.
No, you fucking moron.
Stupid! Boo!
The optimism you have when you're just a kid.
Excellent. The heart of this tale is about coping with that loss of innocence, while at the same time clinging on to the exuberance of youth. Good job, Bryn.
Oh, it seems like finally there's someone in her life who doesn't hate her. Oh, this guy again.
Your dad again. With the he's wearing the Shane Gillis Walmart shirt.
I just love this character.
This all day. You're gonna mess everything up.
You kind of get the vibe that he's like the equivalent of a homeless bum. I know we've seen his house, but
The edit was terrible. She fixed the car.
they make it seem like he's a guy who's just out drinking 40s in an alley, like he's some crazy homeless man.
I didn't realize what I thought she was just walking by. She was working on the car.
Get out of here, you bitch! Stop fixing my car.
You're lucky you didn't blow yourself up. In the house.
Which I would have enjoyed if you did.
One less mouth to feed.
Everyone's a little. No one's like rude or thoughtless. They're monsters.
How's Bryn gonna get a man when she dresses like one?
Nice. Own this bitch. No one in her life likes her.
That'd be one thing, but she dresses like some poor little grunge kid from the 90s.
Nothing wrong with that.
Sorry, Bryn. There's no money in your account.
Oh,
Damn, if I didn't give that asshole that $10.
can you put this in my account?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a bank.
I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. I gotta go to basketball tryouts in the middle of this transaction.
Which is also in the middle of the school day, I think.
Yeah.
Thinking about trying out?
Yeah.
But you're a girl.
Go ahead.
It's not, but we don't have a girls' basketball team.
Wait a minute. Isn't your dad the coach of the men's team?
Yeah.
Of course he is.
What
a twist.
My dad's really hard.
The school hired this deranged maniac.
That sucks. You know, women's basketball is all the rage right now with Caitlin Clark.
Oh, this is brand new.
I told you.
Let's get out of here. No need to waste any more time with this one.
You know, if you get Dave Portnoy's attention, you could really be very successful.
That's right.
Well, 5 more. You can do it. Get it. Oh, yeah. Get it. Get it.
Boy, I love all you kids.
Name's practice for tryouts. Shake it out.
Well, I'm trying out too.
You're trying out too.
Yeah, right.
I'm serious. Real serious. I want to go pro someday.
Go pro.
Yeah. And when I do, I'll buy Dad a new car and a new house too.
Again, pause.
One day he'll love me.
Pause. A little delusional.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you'll look up the average WNBA salary. I think it's like 100 grand, maybe. To be like, I'm going to buy you a new house and a car and also have money to live myself.
Rookies make 70.
Yeah, that's not just throwing around house and car money.
No, it's not. It's I can barely afford this apartment money.
That's like a middling insurance salesman. That's Steve Firenze money.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna happen.
And besides, the WNBA doesn't pay enough to buy your dad a new car or a new house.
Good, honestly, more good points by this guy.
Voice of reason.
Gonna buy Zayn some new sneakers. Got his grades all the way up to B's.
Now pause. Again, if we're being fair, I don't know if that deserves to be celebrated.
Well, you know what does deserve to be celebrated? Her report card she's about to show.
Oh, I'll win Dad's love now. But I think that's misguided.
Straight A's.
I only have enough money for my son.
I kind of respect him for not even being like subtle about it.
I know.
Brent, is that you? I didn't realize you live here.
Well, if you call this living.
Is this a teacher?
I think so.
Why are you wearing a waitress uniform?
Well, sadly, teaching doesn't cover all my expenses.
This thing is filled with life lessons.
Nothing, I'm fine.
You don't have to lie to me.
You've been in schools that's like bulliest.
Right now.
It was never like this.
No. Pause it real quick.
Anything?
I was a blind, socially awkward weirdo. Nobody talked to me like this. No. People were pretty respectful as a whole.
Yeah.
No one was like, get out of here, you freak.
You fucking.
Not to like, imagine now, pile that with having an actual talent. She's a skilled basketball player.
Right.
And everyone's like, you dirty bitch. No one. Oh, yeah, right. Like you could go pro in women's basketball. Well, I'm a woman who's good at basketball, so the variables are all there.
I thought I heard you talking to someone.
Just my phone.
I should say, by the way, this might see we're heading towards one of the great twists in film history. So, dude, just keep that in mind. If you don't think this is going anywhere, I assure you it is.
She's beautiful.
She passed away a few years ago.
I hope this teacher waitress marries her dickhead.
That would be great.
No, that's my life since she's been gone. My dad doesn't see me.
Dad's been really mean to me since she died for some reason.
How hard I try, it's like I'm this worthless waste of space.
Did she get into an accident driving me to gymnastics and die? Yeah.
My dad and brother, but they don't want to have anything to do with me.
Did I murder her in cold blood? Fine. That's no reason to hold this much of a grudge. I gave him $10.
Believe it or not, I get it. I want to own my own art studio and show my own.
Well, hold on, pause. I got in Rochester. I think this guy is trying to move a mug shop. If you know, you know.
That's great.
That's expensive. That's why I'm working as a waitress, so I can save some extra money.
I didn't know you were an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
What if she started bullying that? Like, you're probably bad at it. She just treats her the way everyone treats her.
Oh, she knows. By the way, this teacher who's leaving her waitressing job is just carrying a gigantic piece of art that she drew on a canvas.
Oh, what? You mean this?
That's exactly what happened.
Well, I just worry that someone's going to bring up their dreams, and I won't have this as an example of mine.
Nobody believes that I'll be able to do it. But I just say,
who doesn't believe you could open an art studio?
When I'm down,
Do that in like
then don't expect
public lawn.
from me.
I could do it. Just draw in my house. Hey, it's an art studio.
I'll shoot some hoops with you.
Yo, really?
Yeah, girl.
Yo, really? Did I teach you that in English class?
Yo, girl.
I didn't know you had skills like that, Miss W.
Based on my performance over the last 6 years, I would appreciate a raise.
I'm sure you would. As would I.
I gotta say, the men's high school basketball coach
We're lucky to even have a boys
should
team.
have something better than a 97
At
kid.
the girls'
You know?
team,
Yeah, that's true.
as well as a couple other sports and activities.
I understand, but you see, ever since my wife passed away, the budget's been really tight.
Isn't that enough for a raise? That I'm sad?
I think I've earned this.
I hate my daughter properly.
I'll speak to the school board, see what I can
You saw those sick burns I was laying on my daughter. Isn't that worth something?
I'm kicking her out of this tryout.
I actually take back what I said. If you're just the men's high school basketball coach,
Maybe you're afraid I'll embarrass you.
that's a job that might not even pay in some towns.
I know.
For what?
It's like $200 a week, maybe.
Yeah.
This is a boys' basketball team. You see how that's a problem?
I want to play, Dad.
You're wasting everybody's time. There's no chance of you making it. Coach.
Okay, so pause. Can I say, let me guess where your head's at right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking this is just a show where she's going to dazzle everyone on the court, and they're like, all right, against my better judgment, you're going to be on the boys' team.
Yep.
Well, let's find out.
I have predictions.
Okay, well, let's find out.
Yeah, what's the matter, Coach? If she's not good enough, we'll find out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be great if this was just a scene of them like stuffing the ball in her face, just like owning her, breaking her ankles.
I just put in the chat what I think's gonna happen. So if it does happen,
Okay,
I'm on record.
interesting. I like that.
Got it.
Judging by this, she made a basket. She made the team.
That's what the whole movie has been so far.
Think you could make the third one from half court?
Now, what is that going to do?
You know, Steph Curry.
And by the way, can I say, pause real quick? If she makes it from half court, how often is that play going to come into effect?
Almost never.
All right, let's run the old half court operation. This is why she made the team.
All right. Drains it.
All right, well, she did everything they asked her to do.
And the team's behind her. She's bringing them all together.
I like that. All right.
It would be so fucking funny, though, if she goes to do a layup and someone just swats it out of the room.
Boom! Just
the coach
a thunderous block.
The dad does it just to prove a point.
Not in my house. It would be great if this music, it's like the dad taking his shirt off. And I'm D'ing you up.
She pickpocketed her brother. Of course. She's so much better than her brother.
Seems like she's well on her way to making the team.
She does. She's the best player in this gym.
And they love her. that's what's good. The team is fully on board with her being a part of it.
There's two people that hate her. It's her brother and her dad.
Guys, you want this bitch around? She is lame.
Every basket she makes, the dad's disappointed.
She's a drag. Do you know what she brought to me the other day? $10. This motherfucker brought 437.
He's much better.
Boy, Mazone, Jacob, and the captain, my boy Zane.
Who just got dominated by a girl.
Yeah.
Better look next time.
And?
That's it.
No, and he just said better luck next time.
Now.
That's enough.
I just schooled half the guys you called.
It's true. Do you want to stay on the team?
It's true. They're like, hey, she's better than us.
Some guy had her back. He goes, that's true. He goes, do you want to stay on the team?
I respect this guy. This is what John Wooden would have done.
You're captain one-on-one right now.
That is enough. This is my decision.
One-on-one to one
This
basket.
is an all-boys basketball team. I need you to get out of here.
Wrong kid died.
Wait, Brent, stop. You were great back there.
Thanks.
I just wanted to say it's super messed up that your dad didn't let you on the team.
Hi, Jakey. Can we go home?
Why is that significant? Who is this?
He is
Let's go.
the one on the team that has her back is dating one of the bullies from the classroom.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Of course.
Classic.
Yeah.
Really nice house.
Good job, son.
You the man.
It's been a long day.
Has it? For you? Because I'm really trying to make sense of mine.
Hold on, pause. When she walks in, it would have been great if he was like, damn, forgot I'd have to see you again.
Why are you still here?
I thought I cut you, and that would just be the end of it. I forgot there'd be repercussions.
Average players and my own father cut me from the team. I want to know why you're treating me like I'm worthless. No matter how hard I try,
Please say
it's never
because
good
you
enough
are.
for you. Zane gets B's and you get him shoes. I get A's, you tell me to go to my room.
It's a fair argument.
You can't make a shot to save his life, yet you make him captain. And I've got everyone else on your team, and you cut me. Why are you treating me like this? I'm your daughter.
No, you're not.
No, you're not?
You're not my daughter.
Hold on.
Pause. That was the twist.
So much. I couldn't wait.
So this is why, pause real quick. This is why I told you, I told you not to show the title, because for some reason the title of this video is Father Disowns Daughter.
Okay, my fucking guess was not right.
What was your guess?
I said she's going to transition and make the team.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
No. Let's watch this where he explains, this is why I've always hated you.
And I hated saying goodnight. I loved you like my own because I thought you were.
You stupid bitch, mom cheated on me.
There was a time shortly after Zane was born. Your mom and I went through a little rough patch. We fought.
Her legs were wide open for all comers.
Your mother was the main breadwinner in the family and would go away on work trips. It wasn't until
Did she have to deal with this, by the way? Was she like, I can't fix my carburetor again. All right, here's $10. She have to put up with this emasculating horse shit that you do?
During one of those trips, your mother had relations with another man. I had my suspicions for a while. Finally, a DNA test confirmed that you weren't my daughter.
And so that's why I'm always mean to you.
It doesn't matter how good your grades are, or how much you do for me, or how well you play basketball. The fact of the matter is, you're not mine. And I don't want you here.
Hold on. Pause real quick. Why did it take her trying out for the team for this all to come out?
Because he's like, fuck, my blood's not good at basketball.
Well, like when the mom dies, just kick her out. Just be like, you're not mine at all. Why put her through the whole, oh, you again. Oh, hey, Zane, the old buzzkill is back.
To think that I raised someone else's daughter.
If that's the case, I'll just leave then.
What? Good. No, there's not a, well, who's my dad? That can't be true. She's like, all right, I guess I'll pack my shit and I'll get out of here then. I'm sorry.
Oh, she just went and staged crying outside this restaurant.
You can stay here as long as you like. I've already spoken with your father.
He's not my father.
I feel worthless.
You really should.
Yeah, to many people you are, apparently.
Listen to me. You are not worthless.
So much so that I'm letting a student stay in my home.
You're talented.
This isn't nepotism.
Smart, kind. You have a bright future ahead of you. Whether it's college,
This is like a Boy Meets World
basketball,
plot for a
or
while.
both.
How am I supposed to get the attention?
Sean Hunter?
Yeah, he was with his
Basketball team
teacher.
if I can't even play on a
Oh,
high
that's true.
school. There is no girls
Turner, I
basketball
believe.
team at
Yes.
Brookside.
Died in a motorcycle accident.
Maybe it's time that we start one.
Well, that's going to be difficult because it's obviously the start of basketball season.
Oh, so she's coaching a women's team.
No one has thought of that
Even
before.
with a goofy colored ball, huh?
They have enough to field a basketball team on a day's notice, and no one thought to put together a girls' basketball team?
We don't question Dhar Man here.
They're like, all right, you know what? We didn't think it was worth it. But now that you found out this morning that the man that raised you isn't your father, and that's why he's always hated you.
She's gonna go pro, and the dad's gonna try to come back.
And by the way, what I respect about this guy is he used the wife for a raise. Like, I'm just so sad. My wife, I miss her so much. Boy, I love that wife of mine. And in reality, at home, he's like, she was fucking and sucking anyone that came by. Who knows who your dad is? I don't know.
You get that mad at an inanimate object, you're gonna get sucked and fucked behind your back.
Long shot, but I got the reach. Pop lock, now I'm on the leash.
Are they dominating?
No, this is a montage of her waiting on tables and the girls in the corner reading books.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I assumed this was. I assumed they were starting the basketball team.
Well, no, now they're at the state championship.
It's because of all that reading.
Yes. Yeah.
I just do what comes natural.
The next Caitlin Clark has brought girls that have never played basketball before to the state championships.
They win by one. She's going to college to play ball.
There is one more scene, so stick with us. There's one more scene worth watching.
She went to UCLA.
Oh, good. Nice.
Yeah.
From a team that didn't exist yesterday.
Oh, now she's on the Los Angeles team.
Awesome. The Sparks, I believe.
Yeah. She got a shoe deal.
Nice. Congrats.
Different actress, by the way.
Really?
Because, you know, they look so different going from high school to college.
They cast a different actress?
Yes.
Which is kind of a metaphor for that girl getting nothing.
Yeah, no shit. So I think I'm right in the sense that Dad's going to come looking for her handouts.
Yes.
So she's leaving professional basketball game in full uniform.
That's how they dress. Fucking Jalen Hurts is at Disney World in full pads right now.
Now she's going back to the basketball court.
Is that Bryn? Oh, wow. She's the best.
What's up, guys?
We all love her.
There's some practice here.
You know all the respect that WNBA players get.
I learned some of my best.
Carson Black says the brother is working as a morgue clerk.
Let's do it.
That's perfect.
Hey, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
See you around.
That's my daughter. That's my daughter.
Very subtle, sir.
Look at you. I am so proud of you.
Drop the act, Dad.
What are you talking about?
I know what you want.
What I want is you to know that I am proud of you.
And you need money.
How did he know she was going to be there?
I'm your father. I raised you. Look,
The brother's still the same actor.
I'm about to lose the house.
His car broke down again.
My father now. Now that I have some change in my
Goddamn carburetor.
Honey, don't be that.
No, don't honey me. You never cared about me.
This is different
My
actor.
entire
It's
life, I
just
tried to
so
make you
bizarre.
That is really weird.
I put into it, it didn't mean anything to you. You know what someone said to me? If a person doesn't see your worth when you're down, they shouldn't expect a penny when you're up. And I think I'm gonna listen to her.
Don't walk away
Like,
from
you know,
me.
you look a lot
The
different.
only reason why you made something of yourself is because of the low bar of women's basketball. You can't even be Zane in a basketball game.
How many times have I challenged Zane one-on-one? And he's been ducking me forever. And all he does is tuck his tail and run back to you.
Yeah, keep talking that talk.
Oh, that's how you want to play? Right now.
You're a foot taller than her.
Bet.
I'll give you the money you want if Zane wins one-on-one against me. Heck, I'll give you all the money if Zane beats me one-on-one. But if he loses, I don't want either one of you to ever ask me for money again.
Terrible deal. Terrible deal for her.
What
deal?
It's a good deal if you know you're going to win.
No, it isn't. She doesn't get anything out of it.
She gets them to leave her alone.
She hasn't seen these people. They happen to be at the court she was at.
Come on.
Oh, broke his ankles.
What are you doing?
Another game to one.
My girl.
All the white dorks at the court are like, she's
See you,
awesome.
Pops.
Zane, you bitch.
Ready to order?
Actually, I'm ready to pay for your excellent service. What is this?
Because now that I make
Come with me.
$100,000 a year, I can afford anything.
I buy you
Wait, I
an
got
art
you. Hold on.
studio.
Right there. You good? All right. Ready? Open.
It'd be great if she's mad. I didn't tell you you could fucking touch these.
I kind of wanted to do this myself.
Oh my artwork.
You've really stripped me of any sense of accomplishing this myself.
I got you.
You break into my house and steal my shit?
And realize your dream.
How did you get access to this stuff?
I got your artwork. Sorry.
Do you have that slime ball father of yours breaking? I know he's a criminal.
You don't look anything like you did 2 years ago.
Are you committing identity fraud?
Thank you so much. No, you deserve it. You always saw my.
You don't understand. I am now lower middle class.
Thank you.
In LA, that's poor.
Yeah.
Look a mess.
So, how did everything go with Miss Washington?
It was perfect. She cried though, but. Layla, what are you doing here?
I saw Jacob come in. Is this all for Miss Washington?
It is.
Why are they all back here?
Perfect. Yeah, well, you still dress like a boy. Well, he likes it.
Burn.
Nice. And she gets the guy.
That's the beautiful Dhar Man.
That's very exciting. I think we all learned something, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
We talked about trolling and all that stuff. And I like that finally, for once, we end an episode where you guys get to learn a little something. Right. Become better people.
I wish I had the more you know graphic.
Because you know, and it's like they say about cancer. Maybe you yourself don't have cancer, but it certainly affected your life in some way, shape, or form. Right. Someone you know has suffered. We all know the amount of times this comes up where a friend of yours whose father has always hated them admits they aren't blood relatives. I mean, a tale as old as time.
Yeah, to all those people out there whose mom is sucking and fucking behind their dad's back.
Yeah.
I hope you learned something today.
And hey, even if that is the situation you're in, just know with one day, you too could make a fair wage in this country. A decent living.
Got two super chats left. Dang Lizard, £2. But what if everyone just gave her $1? I don't remember what that was in reference to.
What if everyone just gave her $1? I don't know. But thank you, Dang Lizard.
I'm sure it had something to do with Dhar Man.
Probably.
Poodlerific, $2. Blind Mike Live is the best part of my weekend. 2 heart emojis.
Oh, get out of here, Poodler. You're too kind, Poodlerific. Thank you so much, buddy. All right. Well, shout out Steve Firenze.
Broadway Steve.
The greatest quarterback in Long Island history. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week, I guess. Go to blindmike.net. Support this program, please. And thank you. If you like, subscribe, comment, all that helps our algorithm. It helps more people find this show. And you can go watch Why Are You Laughing as well. The Married with Children episode just came out. The episode that's up for members now and will be released later this week is the cancellation of Chris D'Elia. And we had a lot of fun revisiting that topic.
That was
about as much fun as you can talking about a potential serial rapist.
That's right.
Yeah.
I believe there's a Catch-22 right after this. I haven't heard.
Go watch that. Go watch Casey Day and Electra.
There is Catch-22 right after this. The chat. Just stay here. Just stay right here.
We'll send you over there. Go to HackRideTheDemon.com. Support those guys. Support Electra. Support Casey Day, our pals. Check out what they're doing over there. I think they're doing Unboxing Eric tonight as well.
Tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Competing with SNL 50.
Yes.
I guess we have to watch.
Yeah.
I do anyways.
I'm going to watch it.
I think it's going to be a real dud.
Could be.
But we'll see.
We shall see.
What's happening at verygoodshow.org?
We got shows coming out. Teddy bears and ice cream, I guess, judging by this overlay.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. Shows coming out this week. I don't remember which one. We'll be live tomorrow night, I believe.
Go watch that. Go to verygoodshow.org and watch Very Good Show.
Yes.
Support the Craigophiles. Get out there. Show your love for the Craigster.
That's right.
I hear, there's a lot of people when Casey Day is on. A lot of people cheer for Craig. We want Craig. Well, go support him. Are you on verygoodshow.org? For God's sake,
go there.
Are you watching Very Good Show? You should be.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And blindmike.net. You can support this program. We appreciate you guys. Steve Firenze. We love you, brother. God bless.
God bless. Oh.
Bye-bye.
And we have a mean transition.
Hey, it's Boogie. Sappers clear the way. Everyone all the way. Now, this is very interesting. Now, really, ladies, if you listen in, and men, and everybody in between.
If I tell you you've got a homicide, buddy, you've got a homicide.
I hope to hear from you soon. I am proud to own the Trumpy Bear, and I will always be proud to be an American. Until then, have yourself a great day, and as always,
There's no cum on my mic.
rock on.
Stop the baloney, huh? What kind of statement is that?
I wrote it. One of my favorite players to cover when he was here was Mike Vrabel. Tell me Mike Vrabel's story.
Whatever, dude. I keep it cool at the gym.
Piss on it. Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. All right.
Stop! My belly hurts.
My dad was in the military.
What's that, sir?
Can you please kindly F off, please?
If a person is on a bridge threatening to jump, how do we know that he wants help?
Okay, I hope nothing's bad happened.
Money, 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 money. Fuck, please.
Anyway, God bless America.